seeing a lot of zeros, a lot of zeros. That's fine. Let me just do a quick intro. So who we are an educational technology firm, and we are so big on helping people of the Black community, not just the Black community, Africans in general. And even now we are spreading our wings, spreading our tentacles, and moving into different parts of the world, okay? But we are big on helping people that have no tech skills get into tech. We are trying to break that barrier. We are people that are trying to help, that are trying to lower the entry barrier. We're not gatekeepers. We are gate holders. We are holding the gates open for more people to get into tech, and get into this life that we are enjoying. And we offer various courses in tech. We have the data science, we have the data analytics, we have data engineering, we have HR analytics, we have financial analytics, and we also have power platform engineering. And we are big on helping people achieve their dreams, achieve their goals, and also to help our clients achieve data-driven decisions. Our facilitators are top-notch people. When I'm telling you that top-notch, I'm telling you that people that are the crop of the corn, people that they are not just anyhow people, right? So we are so big on ensuring that we deliver the best at all times. So our facilitators are people from companies like Apple, from Microsoft, we have Sahara Group, we have KPMG, we have Bank of America, Amazon, PwC, and so on and so forth. These are where the people that are going to be training you are from. And our courses are structured in a way that you do not have to have any background in tech. You don't have to have studied science, technology, anything at all. Just come as you are, and we'll definitely help you get optimal value. If you join early, you would see the testimonials I was playing, and you can see people saying, oh, I did not have any background, I did not have this or that, but now I can now identify as a tech person. So at the end of this journey, we want to ensure that you are also able to identify as a data analyst, as a data scientist, and so on and so forth. So this is who we are at 10Alytics. All right. Now, meet the founders of 10Alytics. Can I get a round of applause in the chat? Okay, so on the left-hand side is Adeza Suleiman. Adeza is the founder of 10Alytics. Wisdom sat Adeza down one day and said, help people. And he did. Okay, so he started 10Alytics. He's a data analytics expert. He has worked with Sahara Group as a business performance lead, data analyst and business performance group, right? He has also worked as a data analytics consultant in FITC. He has close to a decade, that's 10 years, right? 10 plus, okay? So you have close to a decade experience in data analytics and management in various sectors. Talk about finance, talk about edtech, talk about businesses, e-commerce, and so on and so forth, automobile, right? So he has also trained over 8,500 participants, and he has helped them, transition from no tech skills into tech. Now, these people that are trained now identify as tech people. Okay, so you can connect with Adeza on LinkedIn at Adeza Suleiman, on Twitter at Adeza Suleiman, and on Instagram as Adeza Suleiman. On the right hand side, I have Efemena Ipro. Efemena is the co-founder of 10Alytics. Okay, it is if you enter anywhere today and ask about Efemena, there's no way they will not be able to. You can go to the supermarket and collect stuff on his name for free. That's how popular he is. All right. So he's the co-founder of 10Alytics. He's the business data support lead at the post office in the UK. He also works as the global business systems analyst in Teleflex at Ireland, as the business intelligence developer in DPD Ireland, and is a data scientist with also close to a decade experience cutting across multiple sectors. Again, talk about the oil and gas, the e-commerce, the trading sector, electricity, and so on and so forth. All right. So he holds a master's degree in data analytics from the Athlon Institute of Technology. All right. So connect with Efemena Ipro on LinkedIn at Efemena Ipro, on Twitter as Efemena IK, and on Instagram as Afe1. All right. This is me with the rosy cheeks. Okay, so my name is Oluwadamlola Ajumobi, right? I lead the training operation here at 10Alytics. I work as the head of data and operations here at 10Alytics. I have close to 5 years experience cutting across data science, cutting across the data science and data analytics space. I am also an ambassador for Women in Tech. That's the Google Women in Tech. And I am so passionate about helping people of the Black community, people like me, women like me, get into tech, thrive in tech, and grow in tech. Okay, so you can connect to me on LinkedIn at Oluwadamilola Ajumobi. Okay, so moving on, why are we here today? What are we doing here today? Why have we organized this session today? Number one, we are going to be speaking with students that have passed through 10Alytics and are now thriving in this space. I mean, they are thriving so well. When you see them, you are going to know, because there's just something about students that come to 10Alytics. There's just something that people that pass through 10Alytics, the glow is different. Okay. So we are going to be having a fireside chat with 10Alytics students who have gotten jobs during the training and after the training. Okay, so we have students that got jobs during the training, they were still ongoing, they had the training ongoing, and then after the training, they were still getting more and more offers. Then moving after that, we're going to be talking about why you should choose a career in tech, why it's very solid, very important that you choose a career in tech. Then we are going to be discussing our upcoming cohort that is going to be starting on the November the 4th of 2023. And then we'll take a look at more success stories and also something small for you to take home after this session. Okay. Now there is this saying that they always say it's impossible until it is done. They would say that you have something to do, it's a mountain. It's a mountain, right? You have something that you're looking at, looks like a mountain. All you have to do is get to it. As soon as you start, you see that this thing that you're referring to as the mountain is actually a plane. It is so easy. It is you think that it's impossible, but once you start it, I can assure you that within weeks, I'm so hyped. Within within weeks, within months, you are thriving. Okay, so nothing is impossible until you get started and get into it. Now, let's have a chat with our students who have gotten jobs after their training program. Okay, a quick intro on these students. We have number one, Eyobong Young. That's a special name. All right. He got a job as a business analyst working with an international organization. It's emphasis on international organization within the energy sector, okay, in Nigeria. Now, listen, he joined in August 2022. He completed his training in October 2022, and then he got a job in this job with the international organization in 2023. And 2023 is not even over. All right. Another person, another amazing person right here is Inaku Bernard Abalu. Okay, so he works with the Atlantic Data Research Department at Cape Breton University in Canada. All right, so Bernard joined 10Alytics in 2022, October 2022. He completed his training in December 2022, and then he got a job as well in 2023. Okay, another amazing person here is Solomon. Solomon he studied engineering as an undergraduate, but he got a job, a full-time job as a financial analyst. Imagine crossing from engineering to financial analytics. Okay, so again, when we say your background does not matter, what you study does not matter, we actually mean it. All right, so he got a job as a financial analyst with Kegos Group in Nigeria. You see people saying, oh, there's no job in Nigeria, there's no this, there's no that. It's a lie. You just need to know what to do. Okay, so he joined in February 2023. He completed his training in May 2023, and he got a job that same May in 2023 after the training. Okay, we have Abdul Rashid. Abdul Rashid got a job as a data scientist with Chow Verified in the United States. Okay, So he joined in September 2022. He completed his training in December 2022, and he got a job in the middle of it, October 2022. So it was not even done before he actually got a job. Another special person here is Victor Ishino. Victor is my friend. He got a job, a full-time job as a senior HR analyst with Tangerine. Okay, so before then, he used to work with Google. All right. After that, he got another job with Tangerine, right? So he joined in November. He joined 10Alytics in November 2022. He completed his training, the entire training, capstone project, internship in 2023. But guess what? He got a job in 2022, December 2022. So even before he completed the training entirely, he already got a job. Finally, we have Christopher Ozurumba. Okay, he got a job as a data engineer with a firm in the UK. That's Christopher. Okay, so he got a job. He joined in August 2023. He completed his training in October 2023. This is October. This is actually October. Okay, and then he got a job in this same October 2023, right about when he was wrapping up his program. All right, so I'm not going to say too much. I'm actually just going to let this people come and speak for themselves. It is from the horse's mouth that we hear something. I don't know what we usually hear, but from the horse's mouth. So I'm just going to call on these amazing people. But before that, I'm going to hand over to Adeza to say one or two before we get the ball rolling. Adeza Ekemena.
Right, I think Adeza is on. Let me just unmute you. So, yeah, Governor, you might need to add Adeza as a host, co-host, so you could unmute himself. All right. Good evening, everyone. We're going to be having an amazing time today. We're going to be doing something very special because quite a number of people that are looking to transition into tech are very, very, very skeptical, thinking they can't do it. All right. And the reason why we're having this conversation today is very simple. Okay. Let's bring in people that have gone through 10Alytics, okay, that have passed through the training program and are currently doing well for themselves. That's the reason why we brought them. So if you have that doubt that, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm not that smart. I'm not that this. I'm not this. I don't have certification. I don't have education. I don't have all these things. You feel like you have to get a lot of things in order for you to get started. That's why we brought our people that have gone through the training program to come to speak to you and, tell you exactly how they're able to learn. And now they have a better job. Okay. They're working in tech, working for tech companies remotely for firms in the US, like you rightly so. And we have people in Canada. We have people. We brought in the perfect mix of people to come and speak with you today. All right. So, anyways, Adeza, do you want to say? Do you want to talk? Do you want to, okay.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, everybody. Super excited to have you all on the call. Over 345 people. My advice is make the best use of the session today and ask as many questions as you can. All right. So let's keep it interactive. So what we've tried to do is a lot of people have said, oh, you guys, it seems like you only focus, with jobs in the UK, jobs in Canada, jobs in the US. How about Nigeria? How about other regions? All right. So we brought in a mix of different people from different regions.
Rashid, I can't find you on the call.
Damnola, you need to mute. All right. So we brought in a mix of different people who have gone through the training program, gotten jobs across different areas.
anyways, good evening, guys. How you all doing today? But Chris, where are you joining from again? Sorry, just to confirm.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Femina. I'm joining from UK.
You're joining from the UK. All right, it's good to have you here. Bernard, where are you joining from? Abdurrashid, where are you joining from? Sorry, guys, do you want to turn your video so it's more interactive rather than?
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Abdurrashid.
Like I said, I'm in Hawaii. Just kidding. I'm from Nigeria, actually.
Yeah, that's
From
fine.
Nigeria. Yeah.
Okay. Got it from Nigeria. Okay. Anyways, we'll do proper introductions as we go on. Victor, I'm not sure why you guys are not turning on your video, you're not speaking. We already know exactly what we're supposed to
Yeah,
do. So
I'm
please, if
online,
you could tell me.
I'm yet to speak. I'm just trying
Okay.
to switch to a bigger device. That's why my video is not yet on, but I'm with you. Just give me a few moments. I'll
Okay.
switch to another device. But I can hear you clearly.
All right. Okay. Solomon, can you hear me well? Solomon, are you there? Bernard also just dropped off. All right. Anyways, we'll do what we have at the moment. Okay. Apologies for that. All right. So, anyways, let's start with you, Rashid. Okay. A lot of people are looking at getting started in tech. Okay. So we want to get to know you a bit better. Okay. So, just a little bit of introduction. In terms of where were you before? What happened? What training did you come for? And how did it help you transition into your desired career path?
All right. Good evening once again, guys. My name is Abdul Rashid. Okay. I'm a data scientist. I work with Child Verified, the company in the US. I used to be, I wouldn't say ordinary. I used to be the normal average Nigerian guy there, trying to find a way around the whole job market in Nigeria. So yeah, then I found my way into tech in 2022. Joined the program, the full stack data science program. Took it for 3 months. Before I finished that program, I got a job. Before I ended that program, I got a job basically. Yeah.
All right. So what training program did you attend? You could ask.
Yeah, the full stack data science program. It was to end in December, and I applied in September, and I got the job in October ending. Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
you're
just
in
before the
Nigeria
program.
working. You're in Nigeria currently?
Yes.
Okay.
I work remotely. Yes, and I currently lead the data science team. The data team actually in my company right now. Yeah.
Just almost a year into the program, into your
Just a year into. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Just a year
that's
into.
amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Anyways, yeah, we'll come back to that. Okay. Chris, let's hear from you. Your background, where were you before you started the training program? And how were you? What training program did you attend that led you to getting a new job?
Thanks, Ifemina. I joined the cohort in August. Actually, before then, while I was in Nigeria, because I came to the UK last year, December. But while I was in Nigeria, I was a microwave engineer. So what I do is I was in telecom, microwave fiber connectivity, and so there was nothing related to data. But when I came to the UK, I just started reading some things on cloud. I was able to get a job on cloud, but I knew nothing on data, But from August, in fact, I think the HOD of data engineering should know me now because I did interview with her. My first 2 weeks of joining the class, I was going for interview with her. I think her name is Tony or something. I can't remember her name. So surprisingly, before my eighth or maybe 7th week into the training, all the fundamentals were taught. It was awesome, and I got a job in the UK, fully remote actually, fully remote. And it's the company is actually an international company. They have branches over 10 countries in the world.
It's a big walk. That's a big one. I hope you're enjoying yourself too. It sounds like you're enjoying yourself anyways. All right, that's
In fact, sorry, before I even complete the job vacancy was even given to me by one of the seniors there.
Amazing.
I tried to call you boss, but I couldn't reach you.
No problem, Chris. It's fine. No, Allah.
All right, that's good. That's good. I can see that. Victor, can we get to meet you also? So what were you doing before the training? You know, how did you what training did you come for, and how did they help you get the job you're going into, or you are currently in? You're muted, Victor. Okay, Victor, can you hear me? Okay.
All right. All right. Access has been given. Good evening, everyone. My name is Victor. I'm very excited to be here. It's always a delight. I was just an HR professional around this time last year, just about 1 year, really, just an HR professional, passionate about my work, but, I needed something extra. And I knew that technology was the way, data analytics was the way. And then I enrolled for the HR Analytics Cohort 5, started in November 2022. We had a very interesting masterclass in October. I think it was taken by Femin, and I'm just like, wow. It was like magic, It literally made it very simple. You could see that if this guy could do it, you can also do it. And, if he has this music vibe and this very funny element he throws into his classes, and it just made sense. Like, if this guy can do it, like, it's not magic. Like, okay, I can do it. And then I enrolled for the course. And along the line, just 1 month into the course, really, I got a job with a been taught within the space of 1 month. It was really sufficient to get that job. Went on to do amazing stuff. And, from a very strategic point of view, I'd also recently switched to a new role, leveraging my knowledge of analytics and several other things. And I'm currently in my first role, just in my 5th year of doing HR. In my mind, I'm like, yo, I just could never imagine this will happen. I actually switched from the guy that used to work on reports, submit reports, to the guy that now makes decisions, to the guy who is now lobbying for mindment buying. And I'm like, what happened? Tech really played a strategic role in that. So I'm happy to be here to share as much as I can with all the other folks on the call. And trust me, if we can do it, you can do it. This is not motivation. It can happen. You can make it work. Thank you very much.
All right, Victor, absolutely fantastic. Thanks a lot for sharing your experience. Thanks a lot for that. Let's talk to Solomon. Solomon, everybody, we've been waiting for you. We actually sent an helicopter to get you. I don't know, did you see it? I'll be
So
good.
sorry about that. I was on the call previously, but my network was tricky for a
Okay.
little bit, so I had to drop.
All right, don't worry. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for taking out time out of your busy schedule to speak to potential participants of 10Alytics who are still very doubtful and thinking that they don't know what to do. They think they need a lot in order for them to get started, essentially. So, I want to introduce you to them. Okay, so what's your experience like? What were you doing before? All right, what training did you go through in 10Alytics, and what do you do at the moment?
Okay, so my name is Solomon to start with. I currently work as a financial analyst in Kegos Group here in Lagos, Nigeria. So I've actually done 2 programs with 10Alytics because of how good it is. Right, I started with the full stack data science program because at the time I wanted to be able to, make sense of data. There's this buzz around data, and for a fresh graduate, I felt, if this is the skill to have at this time, I ought to do something about that. So I kept actively researching, checking out curriculums out there and seeing what program would best give me like a comprehensive, entry into this world. And a particular day, I think I was on Instagram and I saw a sponsored post from 10Alytics, and my first go-to at that point, my strategy for looking for a program was to just go and look for the curriculum and see how comprehensive it was. And I did that for the 10Alytics program, and I was blown away. And I did see they were offering a master class. I attended, and I felt like I felt like an expert at the time after just the master class. So I knew I was in the right place. I didn't hesitate at all at that point to, pay for it and start cohort. And that's just about it. I finished the data science, and having that skill, I wanted to tie it to a particular, career path, a particular component of business. For me, it was finance. Coming from an engineering background, but studying chemical engineering, some of the courses we took, the most interesting for me at the time were the ones that dealt with economics of engineering projects. So I just knew I was a money guy, right? So I might as well just, take the time to do that transition while I'm still in the early phase of my career. And so I wanted to tie that data analytics skill set into that particular career path almost immediately. So financial analytics was it for me. And I did enroll for the second program. And long story short, here we are.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So going through training program, it was good the first time. You decided to up on the second time, and it's amazing. Doing all these things in order for you to enrich your career, it's something very remarkable, I'd say. All right. So Bernard Abalu, okay. Did you get the Rose on Phantom we sent to you to pick you up? Did you get it? Because you're here now, so.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Bernard, we can hear you perfectly. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we want to get to introduce you to the participants. Okay. So I want to know what you were doing before the training you did within 10Alytics, and what career path are you in at the moment? How did you transition, basically?
Okay. Before 10Alytics, I was a civil servant. I was working in at the Ministry of Agriculture. Working as a civil servant and government work can sometimes, well, it's frustrating. So, me personally, I couldn't handle it. So I wanted to do another career path. So I was doing trainings. I did trainings in data science, and I completed that after a year. Then I went on to data analysis. That's where I found 10Alytics. That's how I stumbled into 10Alytics. And during my training in 10Alytics, I was actually able to get a job working for an NGO in Nigeria. This was Widows and Orphans Empowerment Organization. It was because of the training from 10Alytics. They were quite impressed with my CV and the way they revamped my social media platforms, everything. I'm quite sure that's why I even got the job. But that was not the end of. I didn't stay in the NGO for that long. My goal actually was to get to Canada. Although I wouldn't say the pay from that NGO wasn't too bad, about 300,000, but it wasn't really my end goal. I actually wanted to come to Canada. It was still, that was the end goal for me. And although my boss wasn't too happy about that when I told her that the department that she put me in, she expected much of me, but I just told her one day that yes, I'm leaving the job and I'm going to Canada. She really wasn't too happy about it, but the journey so far has led me to a work study at my university. I'm taking a course in business analysis. That's my master's degree program, and once again, I've reached out to Adeze to take another cohort in business analysis. I feel as I'm taking my master's program, working in my work study, I think the cohort will help me very well. That's my journey so far.
Absolutely fantastic. All right, fantastic. I love it. I'm actually very excited, guys. You don't understand, the power you guys have in your voice, because quite a number of people are looking at how they can transition, okay? And a lot of people overthink. I think over 90% of people across the world are overthinkers, all right? They feel like they need to be the smartest, they need to know how to type very fast in order for them to work in tech. They need to be, visa computer in order for them to get started. There are so many things misconceptions people are. So, maybe on the or thereabouts. So let's get to know what you do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start with Chris because Abdurrashid just steps away. Okay, Abdurrashid, let me start with you. Okay. So let's start from Abdurrashid. I'm going to just take it down the road. Okay. So Abdurrashid, what does a day in the life of a data scientist? What does it look like working for a firm in the US and you're based in Nigeria? What does a day in the life of a data scientist look like for you?
I'm going to start by saying first, it's amazing, right? It's fresh because I mean you get to work from your house. All right. So for a typical day, aside having to, meetings, I think the interesting part is that you get to be part, you get to be an important piece in the company. All right. You go for meetings and you are looking up to you to give them answers and they tell you what. I think I really enjoy that, honestly, when people are waiting for me to speak so I can give them answer. All right. After the training program, I knew, okay, I could do this. Of course, at the very first meeting I had, I was a bit like, can I do this? But I went on, I started looking at the whole data, all right? And I began to look at, wait, why is this thing like this? What's wrong here? All right. And my next meeting, I told the CEO, I think we should do something about this. This is what I'm not just saying it, and I showed him why based on the data, and be like, okay, go ahead and do it. And that was it. All right. So it's really amazing having to be a key part of the project. I've worked on so many projects and it's been really amazing. You get to, but I think the feeling of everybody listening to you because they know it's something you have to see that makes sense to them. I think I really enjoyed that part, honestly. It makes sense when people are just there and I feel like, okay, Rashid, what do you have for us? And then you speak and then they don't object. It makes sense.
Absolutely. I think that's one thing I think it's a tech thing, really. And I'm sure majority of the guys on the call would resonate with that. All right, being at that, top management. Before you get to that top management as an accountant or a normal employee within an organization, it's likely going to take you years for you to even have that one-on-one conversation with the CEO. But data scientists, like Abdul rightly said, which you turn to the oracle within the business, okay? Because I'm looking up to you. What should we do? Everybody's eyes are on you, trying to ask you questions and all that, So thanks a lot for that, for shedding more light to what you do, but we'll still come back to you. So Chris, data engineering, what does a day in the life of a data engineer look like?
Thank you. Before I start, to say that obviously one of the mistakes I made was not joining 10Alytics earlier. I knew about them since March, but I was just doing my class support. I didn't want to, but I kind of regret it that if I've joined earlier, maybe I've gotten something earlier since. Okay, so by the way, it's more of we discussing with stakeholders. There's always a pipeline you need to build. We look at the best route to build a pipeline. Normally, we interface with the DevOps guys, software guys, engineering team. Trying to ensure that whatever the downstream guys like data scientists and data analysts needs, we build it all the way, to that. Basically for me, it's like you are being trained to work because it's a very fantastic place. It's always learnings and you're always thrown to challenges, but obviously because the way the analytics is actually, the fundamentals of Python, SQL, we're embedded, building those pipelines. So there's really nothing so much you meet in the job that, that fundamental has not been done during the capstone project or even your normal project assignment that will be given. So it's like every day I have trainings, I have meetings, like what you just said and what Abraham said, we are key figures in the team because there's always a feedback from the chief data officer. How do we go about this? And that particular thing helps you to actually, bring out the best in you. is for me it's a very brain taxing and at the same time very relaxed work, because like you're being paid to work, you're being trained to work, and you'll be involved in the projects, you're involved in trainings, involved in meetings, and just ensure that the pipeline is run as expected, and that's just all.
All right, amazing. So you're a provider basically. All right, they call you Chris, you swoop in like you switch in like Superman, and you provide them with the data that they need, the data analysts, the data scientists, and so on. And that's how you keep the pipeline running, for data to be available across the organization, which is fantastic. Appreciate that big time. All right, Victor, what does a day in the life of an HR analyst look like?
Sorry, just before Victor, sorry to butt in before you go on. So I just quickly want to say something about Chris. I'm not sure he even knows. The verification, the company that was verifying reference, or Chris had indicated that he had something to do with 10Alytics. Can you tell us about Chris? Yours was the most different out of all the recommendation requests I have received. Usually the organizations would send a link, go ahead, fill the details and so on. But they first of all reached out to say, oh, we want you to provide a reference for somebody. They didn't mention the name. Are you the right person to provide reference for the person? And I was wondering, who is this person that, I need to provide a reference for, that they can't even tell me the name? And I said, okay, oh, absolutely. Send me the details. I'll be very happy to do that. And eventually they sent Chris's, details. And I was super excited. Told Elijah to reach out to Chris, find out some details, and of course, fill the reference for Chris. And I'm happy to see Chris here on the call doing fantastically well. And I think that's the beauty, really, which goes beyond just the training itself. Organizations would always want to know that you are associated with a brand that is reputable and that can stand and vouch for you. And once more, thank you for joining, Chris. I'm sure people would have so many questions to ask you today.
Thanks, boss. Thanks, boss.
All right, Victor.
All right, that's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah. What do I do every day on a typical day? I think I plan, I execute. That's the best way to sum it up. And I use analytics to drive results for my stakeholders. So for example, I have a very strong domain knowledge in HR. So in my current role, I am senior HR business partner for technology division, because I work for a conglomerate and it's a group of businesses. So it's not just tech department, it's tech division as an entity. And, I manage developers, engineers, database guys, Java, DevOps, several other things. So as the lead HR function for technology, I do everything HR for technology. However, on a day-to-day basis, I make use of analytics to make sense of what I'm doing. So for example, I'm currently building a talent pipeline because I'm going to be hiring some very key tech guys very soon, in a few weeks. And analytics helps me to say, what kind of guys do we currently have? Where did we get them from? What's the market saying? Where the strong crop of guys that have this kind of skill set are? Where do I find them? How do I position? And then that helps me to save time to be running after the bush, because I have a tool, I have a mindset to know how to get what I use my VLOOKUP, and we get started. That's analytics. Compensation and benefit part of the employee life cycle. You hear people say HR is not our side, we want more money and all that. Why do you want more money? That's one thing. Running a survey, knowing what's happening in the markets, taking data across different places, designing percentiles and notches in a way that you have a compensation and salary structure that makes sense. That's the use of knowledge of analytics. So normal HR reporting, my visualization, all of those kind of things. From a learning and development perspective, we have a time LMS. How do we say on a monthly basis, because we pay for these too, how many people have used the platform? What kind of courses are they taking? What kind of preferences do they have? We're currently also running a pulse survey, and these are 4 key areas where I'm using analytics on a daily basis. So across the employee value chain, how are employees feeling? What's going on right now? How are they doing? What's happening? Learning stay interviews to say, I want people to keep my talents. What are they saying? So it's basically gathering data every day from different employee standpoints, whether it's from the recruitment point, commission and benefit point, talent development point, performance management, gathering data, cleaning that data, being able to spot the trends in those data. Like I said, it's not theory, it's everyday Google Sheets, Excel, Power BI. It's not complicated, it's practical. And then being able to make sense of that data with very good storytelling approach, sending the visualization to my guy at the top. So I report to the CEO of my entity with dotted lines to group head of HR. So it's one thing to say, I've done all of this work, this is what I have, and then this is why we should do this and this and this based on what? The data I've collected, the trend I've been able to run, and what this is saying. So that's what I do on daily basis. And of course, stakeholder management, which is something I'm really picking up by the side, management buying to ensure that beyond the glossy PowerPoint and glossy visualization, I can also appeal emotionally to the people that have the will to execute to ensure that we get job done. So that's what a typical day like is for me. A very fantastic one. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Rachel. Somebody said HR don't do Bugana because of analytics.
Yeah, and the fact that I have something that makes sense, I have something that people want to ask about. It just puts you in a position where you are not afraid, because you know that your stand on the team is very valuable and you can demonstrate it. Is a good place to be, a very good place to be.
Amazing. I'm actually very excited. And the funny thing is that I actually started my experience in terms of analytics, actually started in HR. So I started in HR consulting. I did a bit of financial analytics. And it's amazing, I won't lie. So let's talk about Solomon. Okay, let's bring in Solomon a bit to talk about financial analytics. What is a day in the life of a financial analyst? How does it look like?
So I work directly with the CFO and CEO of my organization. My organization is an indigenous oil and gas firm in Nigeria. So they rely on me basically to do the more proactive analytics role for them, right? Accounting is reactive, right? They are accounting for events, right? So the CFO was the hiring manager for my own process, and he wanted somebody to fill in the role of gathering all of those historicals and using it as reference points to power your forecast and see the futuristic part of a project, so to speak, right? So it would just help him in his whole strategic decisions and all of that. So that's what my role heavily is. I do profitability analysis for projects. It could be drilling projects at somewhere in an oil field, somewhere in South. It could be, because my organization has about 5 subsidiaries, right? And I work in the group, so I'm literally doing projects across board, right? So it could be a marine operations project, take all of the numbers, gather out, because when these top guys go into meeting, they go into meeting and talk at high level, right? Without even having a lot of details, but they sign these contracts and they agree to take on projects, and they come back home and they're like, hey, go check out what the historicals are with this and give me a clear picture of what I've done, So I go back to the other guys at the back end of my stakeholder pipeline and talk to them. Okay, what have we done as regards this? Gather all of my data and give a sort of more comprehensive view of the project with something that makes sense, right? So it would help them, with their decisions going forward. So last week I was doing profitability analysis for a well filtration project. Some other time before then, I was doing a profitability analysis for a trading operations. They were going to bring in AGO from outside the country after the country had, floated license to bring in petroleum products, right? So just basically around profitability analysis, what makes sense, do it at this price, this is not going to make sense based on what the market is saying, and all of that. So I'm the guy they rely heavily on to make key decisions. So I have to come in my A game, reference historicals, reference macroeconomics, reference, what is obtainable out there in the markets in current realities, and just help them plan and make better decisions.
Financial analytics, the guys that move money around and make strategic financial decisions. All right, absolutely fantastic. I love that. All right, Bernard, the data analyst in the house, yeah. So what are the day in a data? What are the day in a day in the life of a data analyst? How does it look like for you? All right. So
Okay. Well, my current role my current role with my work study with my professor. I work with Professor Long. The role is actually a data entry analyst and programming assistant. On day to day, we gather data based on the Atlantic province of Canada, and he gathers that data for me, and I'm supposed to enter it into a system, then clean the data and analyze it. So we use code, we use Python and SQL to analyze the data. So based on provinces of the Atlantic region in Canada, we gather data based on the history of the economics of the Atlantic region and analyze that data. It's part of his research and part of my work study. But it's for my grad school for the time being. But another good thing that I like about my program at this university is after I reach a certain point of credits, I believe 24, once I reached 24 credits, I'm allowed to work anywhere in Canada as long as it's focused on that business analytics. As long as it has something to do with business analytics, I can leave in the middle of my university program, find a full-time job anywhere in Canada, work full-time, and that will count towards my graduation. So that's basically what I'm doing. But for now, I'm doing a work study with the professor.
Working as a data entry and data analyst, combined together. All right, that's fantastic. All right, so if we go on and on, it's going to be a lot. The whole essence of this session, all right, guys, is to just sort of demystify the entry barrier into the tech space. A lot of people are looking, a lot of Africans across the world. We have people moving currently in Nigeria thinking there are no jobs in Nigeria, there are no jobs across the world, so on and so forth. We have people that are relocating to the UK, Canada, US, and they are stuck thinking that it's just one particular kind of job, working in the warehouse, working in care, and so on and so forth. These are the jobs that are available for them. Meanwhile, there are quite a number of other jobs they can actually do. They can actually sit down for 3 months, learn a skill, and get a job. And that's the reason why we brought you guys in to sort of, use your own real life experience as as a springboard for people that are looking to transition into the tech space. So I can keep asking all the questions, yeah. And but I think the next thing I'm just going to take only one more question, and then I would ask anybody that wants to unmute themselves to ask you guys questions. Are you guys okay with that? All right. So I think the only question I'm going to ask you guys now, the last question is, what were the misconceptions that tied you down for so long? All right. So I'm very sure you've always wanted to go into tech. All right. What was that misconception that tied you down, that made you feel little, that made you feel like you can't do it? All right. Is it an age barrier? Is it, international? Some people will say international experience, you need international experience. Some people will say certificates. Some people will say, there are so many barriers. Some people say you need to be a computer guru. Some people, there are so many misconceptions out there. What was your own misconception and how did you overcome that? And what do you think about it right now? All right. So, Abdurrashid, let me start with Abdurrashid and then take it off from there. Misconceptions.
Okay, for me personally, right? Honestly speaking, I really didn't have any misconception, right? I think I was laser focused, and this person right here actually really, really motivates me. Even till now, it really motivates me, honestly. All right. All I had to was getting, and then I was laser focused. I didn't care about people talking about it being difficult or the age or whatever. I didn't even care. Or you need to not be in Nigeria, whatever people are saying. I don't care. All I know that I'm doing this and I'm going for it head on. I don't care what people are saying about it. If it's difficult, people say it's difficult. People say it's difficult, even though it's not. All right, because I believe that what used to come to my head is that if it can do it, why can't I do it? If it wasn't born, when they give it to AP, it was not in his head. All right, he learned
Exactly.
it. All right, that is just what I knew. I don't care. That's how I am. All right, I don't care. I want to do this. I'm doing it straight up. All right, so that was it for me. I just was focused and I kept on doing it. I kept on pushing, kept on doing, and I got it. That's just it for me, honestly.
Yeah, I remember. I think I know the journey very well. To very honest, Abdurrashid. If everybody can just be as laser focused as you are, I think everybody on the call will join the program and probably have, easy transition into the tech space. All right. So thanks a lot for that. You're making me blush on a Thursday evening. I don't understand. All right. Well, anyways, let's talk about Chris here in terms of major misconception, right? So, what were those things? You are in data engineering at the moment, so a lot of people think that, I was on Twitter just a few months back, and I tweeted something about our program, and somebody was like, "Oh, all these people thinking that they can do data engineering in 3 months. It's difficult. It's hard. You can't stop saying that people can do this in 3 months." And I had to ask the guy, okay, how long should it take for someone to become a data engineer? Maybe the guy's going to respond tomorrow. I honestly don't know. But the Twitter guys, no response from him. So a lot of people think that you can't do this in 3 months or 3+ months. Okay. So for you that you're able to transition into the data engineering ecosystem, all right, you're currently working as a data engineer, you're speaking their lingos and everything. So what would you say? What was the major misconception for you getting started? And what do you think about it now?
Yeah, thanks so much for the question. First of all, it's important that no matter your discipline in school, you can always get in as a data engineer. Could be told, I didn't drop any certificate while applying for the role. They didn't ask. If I even I'm giving them, I'm not sure it will be useful. That's the first one. The second one sometimes is that it look as if data engineer is more about software engineer. I say they might relate in a way because you run codes, you run scripts. But the truth is that it's not really like that, right? The way the analytics actually, aligned the training, it was very fundamental, like I said earlier. So anybody on this call that wants to join data engineer, it's very easy for you to come in, and put your best foot, and obviously you get the job. You don't have to know anybody anywhere in the US or anywhere. It's just your effort and you're applying from day one until you get the job. So the misconception I can see is that maybe if you are doing something else earlier, like me, I was in telecom for long, so I felt, can I get to data engineering? As if all those things, maybe age or and all that. No, 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 no. Once you start and you said, I want to start this cohort, maybe November cohort or January, as the case may be, and you put in your best foot and your dedication, I'm telling you fact, there is no misconception because you get it as easy as possible. And for the record, there are many data roles. I don't know of anything, but there are many of them, and they are all fully remote. So they are all fully remote, actually. So please, I want more guys to join. I'm telling you, guys to join us.
Right. I think that's you're very, very valid certification and A lot of people dwell so much on their previous experience. I've always been working as a this, all right? I don't want to live there. I just want, they are so hell bent on just getting stuck in a particular space rather than trying something new. All right. So thanks a lot for those, and laying some of those misconceptions. All right. Yeah, moving on to Victor, HR analytics. All right. HR, the whole concept about HR is, oh, HR, I want to go on leave. Please book my leave for next week. All right. Sick leave. And what is my gratuity? What is my, everybody still thinks that is what HR is all about. All right. Well, HR is not strategic. Now you can dance buga to the office every day. Keep that there buga. Do you understand? And now the whole thing behind that is the analytics. All right. So, transitioning for you, what was the most misconception and what would you say about it?
So the first misconception was about if you want to move into tech, you need to learn how to code. That was always the mindset. I'm like, coding, maybe it's not for me. I'm a smart guy, I'm a genius, but coding, you know what? Maybe it's not for me. So I didn't think that someday I would be close to tech or even be inside tech. You get that was one. The second part was when I decided, okay, there are even different kind of tech skills. There are some you don't need to code, analytics you don't need to do a lot of code. I'm like, oh yeah, but Excel, that thing is actually very, very difficult. Like it was a huge misconception. I just imagine myself in October last year, and this is literally 1 year, which is why I like to share. This is literally 1 year. I remember if his webinar, it was even Power BI. I just used to think that Excel was difficult because it was Microsoft Excel. Like it was very, very difficult. That was the mindset at that time. And what analytics did for me was to help me see that I can do it. And that really was a game changer because um, today, I mean, I use that same Excel for HR budgets. I just created HR budget for FY 2024. Of course, I can't scale the numbers, but I'm like, yo, I was so proud of myself when I sent that. Now, that's one part. I do payroll on a monthly basis, whether you're using an ERP platform, you still load something inside the ERP, which is still Excel or your spreadsheet. I do payroll on a monthly basis. And then when it comes to the core analytics visualization, you see Excel, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, analytics made me see that you can do, and that has also really helped in many cases. So, simple example, I was at work and the senior manager just came to me today and said, "Hi, Victor, I need data on our tech team in India because our tech team is in Lagos and in India." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't have that data right now, but I can get across to you before COB." And I literally spent 4 to 5 hours today ransacking the cloud, checking the archives, checking all the things because is that can do speed. They can't say that they need something I can't provide. Like it doesn't make sense. Like you can do it. I literally spent 4 to 5 hours on that today. Got the numbers to her, sent to her. She was like, okay, this and this, or attrition rates like it just made sense because I've been able to break through the mindset of difficulties. You literally can do it. I'm telling you, whether it's with the classes, whether it's the extra videos, nothing is difficult. Your brain can carry it. You can do it. So I literally moved from the guy that used to think that it was difficult to the guy who can do it. Last, if you can't figure it out, put the entry on YouTube, put it on Google, you see a short video, you can do it. It's just what it is. So that's it for me.
Fantastic. And honestly, that ginger is, in fact, myself, I want to go into no coding analytics. All right, Victor, that was fantastic. I would say, yes, definitely. One of the major misconceptions was no code. Like you need to learn how to code in order for you to transition, and you're doing that now without coding, and that's nature analytics. Financial analytics is also going to be falling into that bucket. Data analytics, business analysis, these are all career paths that you could actually take on without learning how to code. Now let's talk about the finance guys, okay? Financial analytics. All right, you gotta know your numbers already. Your numbers inclined. All right. So what was the major misconception for you? Financial, when you're looking at financial analytics, all right, I know that. What was the misconception for you and how did you overcome it?
So I would say I'm very lucky with this one, right? Because I studied chemical engineering, and at the time of my program, my training, I was a fresh graduate, right? I was literally just waiting to do my clearance and get my statement of it. The job listing was on a 10Alytics platform, and I applied for it. And happens that the HR manager, the CFO in this case, he knows 10Alytics, and his opinion about 10Alytics is it's a solid place, it's a good training ground. So that kind of like gave me a pass, to be honest. So he was like, oh, what? He wasn't even about, can you do this? He was like, what project did you work on? You know, what did you do for your capstone project and all of that? So it was just basically me and him gisting about my project, to be honest. And, you know, by way of discussing about that, he just deduced that, oh, I can work with this guy, right? Because I did get the job. And my performance on the job, I see accounting guys, people who studied accounting in school and who are in the company before me. They're like, how did you do this? What's this? What's that? What's this? How did you? And I'm like, this is just fundamentals, to be honest. This is fundamentals, to be honest, right? So the misconception for me was my background, my engineering background. And right now it's even coming handy because it's an engineering company, right? I work on projects that I reference my understanding of the concepts of engineering and, you know, all of these things. So that was the misconception for me, and that was how I broke through. And right now it's more like a weapon for me.
All right, that's fantastic. Yeah, I think another thing is educational background, which is a major misconception, you know, very, very huge misconception. Oh, I did chemistry in school. Like I did industrial chemistry. And all, you know, I think got a question, I think a few days ago, I did industrial chemistry, you know, is it relevant in the and I'm like, guy, nobody really cares about what you did in your background. Nobody cares about your degree. All right. So you know, those are the things that people are actually thinking about. So now looking at data analytics, let's get started in data analytics. You know, quite a number of misconceptions also, but all right. So for Bernard, yeah, Bernard, what would you say was the misconception for you? All right, getting a job, you know, relocating, working as a data analyst. What were those things that you felt like might have hindered you, or you going through the program, you becoming a data analyst, and now you working as one? What would you say it is?
Okay. My biggest misconception when I came to Canada was I thought that I would need a fancy degree to get into the job market. I thought that that nobody's going to hire me, nobody's going to care about me. Everybody will have a misconception because I'm coming from Nigeria that I won't easily get into the job market. No, but because of what I did with 10Alytics and some of the projects I did, even entering the hackathon competition, that alone got got some of my employer's ears buzzing. Because of that, that's why I was able to get interviews. I got hired in Nigeria for that NGO position. Although I did not stay long, it was one of the reasons I was able to get a hearing voice. Then now that I'm working for my professor, is also because of that experience with 10Alytics. When I was doing the SQL cohort, that alone got the professor's ears buzzing. He wanted to know if I can clean the data. He thought I'd have to enter the data manually, but when I told him no, professor, I could actually use SQL to create tables and enter this data, he was actually quite impressed, and that's why I even got the job. Another kudos I have to give to Adeze. You're the reason my first semester was paid for. When I applied for a scholarship, I had to reach out to Adeze. At first, he didn't know who I was. He would say, "Oh, who's asking for reference for this scholarship? What's going on?" So when I had to reference 10Alytics, some of the projects I was doing. I told them I worked in Nigeria, West Africa. I did so and so. I collected data on so and so, just impressing them. They didn't care about my grades. What did you do for your community? So because of that, my first semester is paid for. So with this with this work study Atlantic program, I'm planning on applying for my second scholarship. So it's not that I don't like working with a professor. I do. It's part of the learning process, but I want to get into the job market. And the goal is getting my postgraduate work permit. That's, I believe, after this year, I'm aiming for a 2-3 year postgraduate work permit. And after getting 22 credits, I'm allowed to work full time. So plus with the scholarship, plus the money I'll be working full time, that's how I'm planning to pay for the second semester. So no, the 10Alytics has been a wonderful program, and the misconception I had was I didn't need a fancy degree. People here just care about your experience. What have you done for your community? What can you offer? That's all they care about. Now, even here in Canada, they value people with experience more than a PhD holder. And that's just the truth. As long as you have that experience, you show what you've done for your community, show examples, even have a GitHub, show projects that you've done, actually show something tangible that you can showcase towards your employers. They'll value you. They really don't care whether you have a PhD, whatnot, and you have nothing to show for it. That's just the truth.
All right, fantastic, Bernard. I think you're doing a great stuff for yourself, and yeah, I think fancy degree certification, like Chris said, you said the same thing, certificate, degree programs, and all that. So I need a master's or I need a PhD in order for me to transition. These things are like major misconceptions people have in order for them to transition into tech. And I'm happy you guys have also spoke your mind and you've said it, you're currently in the industries, all right? You guys went through analytics and currently you're working as analysts, engineers, scientists, and so on and so forth. So, first of all, let me say this again here. Thanks a lot for taking our time. All right. It's a Thursday. This is 8 p.m. on a Thursday, and you guys are taking our time to speak with our potential participants or people that are still looking at how they could get started. I think in order for us to, conclude, which I don't know if we'll be able to take questions from the chat. We'll still take questions. That will be towards the end of the chat, towards the end of the program. All right, but if you have any advice, okay, I think not to keep you guys for too long. Also, if you have any advice, final parting advice for people looking to transition and they are still confused, how would you advise yourself before you started? That's exactly what I just want you to do. How would you advise yourself? That period where you're still that indecision phase where you were. How would you advise yourself? So last advice, Rashid, your hand is raised. Okay.
Okay. All right. Before I talk about that, right, there's something I want to speak on. There's something that is usually say that in the industry now, a lot of Indians, right? Why not the Black community? All right. I remember when I was still looking for a job and I have somebody in the US and I'd be like, hey, I can do this. And I was like, why would they hire someone from Nigeria when there are Indians that are good at this? The Americans there, basically Indians that are very good at this. Why Nigeria? Like, apply, come to the US via the school route and all that. I'm like, you know what? That's your opinion. All right. Now, I supervise the Indians now. I think that's my team that basically that I have to supervise their work and tell them, hey, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I basically lead the team, all right? And so that's some sort of idea people have that you have to be in the US or things are good. Why can't the Black community, why can't we be there? Well, just like Addis usually said, all right? So yeah, man, let nobody tell you can't do this. It's not difficult, all right? Now, as regards the advice, I think being here is the first step. I think that's the very first step. Being here, that you are here is step one. Because I remember I was learning Python on my own before, and I was learning what doesn't even matter. I was learning off point. I know that now because of what I'm doing now. I know that I was learning before was completely off. It's like you are going to Kaduna. So it's a different way entirely. All right. So being here is step one. All right. get into the program, the program is in such a way that they'll literally hold your hands, right? You can ask a question that you think is stupid. You can ask, how do I put on my computer? And they'll literally answer you, this is how you do it. All right. Excel will be taught very easy. When I started work, I still used to go back to my videos then to go and see how was this thing done. Then I go back. Obviously now I don't do that anymore because now I'm used to it, right? But then I used to go back to the videos like, wait, how did I even do this in class? All right. Then I come back. During interviews, then I remember I showed a recruiter one of my projects. I was asked to share my screen, show me what you've done and explain. If you remember these projects that we did in class, I showed the recruiter and was like, wow, this is nice. I told him, yeah, I did it just, it was just casual work I did, and they were impressed. I did this in class. We were taught in class, and I explained it, right? So it was in my so you just go from basically from 0 to hero, all right? If you think it's difficult, it's not. All you have to do, right, is obviously you'll be taught, all right, but also do your own part. Show up for class. Don't play catch up. Come to class. Everybody have things they have to do. They have to do, all right, but you have to sort of be committed. Come to class. Don't play catch up. Watch the me do videos. Go back, learn, and honestly, I think it's good because I can tell you for a fact, I have my master's in applied mathematics and I've never used it. I used to have the idea of going to my PhD. I don't even. Someone was telling me go for a PhD. I'd be like, what's that one? Obviously, that doesn't know where I was working, but but it was like, I used to be a very book kind of person. I used to like book, not anymore. So I was like, why not go for a PhD? And I wait, the MSc that I did, I've not had one single interview. And I've had a period of speaking to guys outside of Nigeria because of data. All right. And now I'm not. So what I'm trying to say is amazing. You are here. How about you take step 2? All right. Take step 2, register, come to class, learn. The skill is very valuable. Honestly, it's very valuable. Nobody wants to care. Nobody cares what you studied in school. What can you use Excel? Can you use SQL? Can you use Python? Nobody wants to care. Nobody wants to know what you studied in school. If you like study whatever, doesn't really matter, honestly. Come and learn and apply this thing and then put yourself in the, and then see how it works. It's really amazing. You get to work remotely. Some people work hybrid. I have my friend's younger brother is in the US right now. It's Google. All right. People are so the black from Nigeria, people are getting those jobs. I mean, why can't it be you? So take step 2 and then come to class, honestly. And I hope to see you guys in class.
Fantabulous, I'll say fantabulous.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Please,
Also,
yeah. Go ahead, please,
okay, so yeah, I'd love to add this as well. I mean, there's a very nice community in analytics, honestly, it's a nice community. All right. I remember, like Chris said, at the beginning of the call, I shared the job links. Yeah, like I got the job. We had discussion about it before he went for the interview. So basically, have a good community. We share resources. Do these jobs out there. He applied, and even though please reach out to me anymore, but it's fine. So yeah, so it's an amazing community, and we're all good, honestly.
All right, so I think I need to give Abdurrashid, his flowers. So Abdurrashid went through the 10Alytics training program, got a job in the US, currently based in Nigeria. Okay, and it was so exciting. I've been working for a firm in the US, for a couple of months before that particular training, I didn't know what I was going to be doing. Okay. The CFO and the leadership team, they are all excited about my reports and all that. If you mean I'm excited, how can I give back to people that are going through 10Alytics? And it came back and currently is helping people within 10Alytics land remote jobs from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone, regardless of anywhere you are in the world. All right, it's helping point people in directions of how they can actually get these remote jobs. So Rashid is actually he has come back to give back to other people within 10Alytics. It's absolutely amazing, I'll say. All right, so Chris, let me hand over back to you. Okay, in terms of your advice, then I'll take Ramat. Ramat to be, we'll come back to Ramat. All right, so Chris, what would be your advice?
Yes, thanks for the opportunity. So the first thing is, taking that decision to start, which is important. And obviously, like let me just give you a preview. There's this training site called Udemy. You can always go there and do data engineering training, but it's not tailored, right? So in analytics, there are no videos. These are live classes. Live classes. All the classes I had, I don't know what department, but the data engineering, they are all live classes, and they were explaining in depth. So obviously, the first thing is take the first step. The second thing is attend the program. And when attending the program, make sure you really, put in your best, just ensuring that you get the best, because you can, like he said, you can ask anyhow question, just ask any questions. You just get someone that will assist you. In fact, in our group, we had other smaller teams so that we have catch-ups, and so we are trying to build communities. So obviously, just take the first step, register, understand the particular role you want to go for. When you just get that understanding, then take the bold step, apply. Like I said earlier, one of my regrets, was not starting earlier in March. I knew about them in March, but I was focused on what I was doing on cloud support. I didn't really go. But right now, I will have even gathered again more. And one funny thing in tech industry I've heard is that within 6 months, your salary can be increased. So that means the earlier you come in, the better. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Chris is referring to what we call job hopping. All right. So you don't need to stay on the job for 5 years anymore in order for you to get gratuity. You could actually get your gratuity 6 months down the line by getting a higher pay, higher job, and so on. So thanks a lot for that, Chris. Absolutely, very wonderful. So you guys get started. That's the key thing. You can get started. All right. So Victor, what would be your advice to people looking to get started in data analytics?
Well, like I always say, please take a chance on yourself. You can do it. It's very important. Take a chance on yourself. Take a chance on yourself. Believe that you can do it. Just test it. Take a chance on yourself and believe that you can do it. And 10Alytics, one of the reasons why I also strongly recommend them is because in you taking a chance on yourself, you are coming to a platform that has a very nice curriculum. Their curriculum is top notch, and they have a structured learning path, which is one of the things that Rashid mentioned, that when people are crossing to tech, it's one thing to have somebody holding your hand and you're just learning different things. You want to start Excel, you are learning VBA. VBA is not what you're starting with. You get so they have a top-notch curriculum, they have a structured learning path, they have a very strong learning community, and the post-learning support, which is what I like, is superb. So from when you are coming in, they let you know you can do it. You come in, they are holding your hand. Even when you are done, they still keep you in the community. What else do you want? So it's just what it is. Just know that you can do it. Get on the platform, get a taster, and you will see how that things will work out. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Fantastic. Get started also. Solomon, yes, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly, yes.
So for me, I'd say 10Alytics is just the place where you don't have any excuse, to be honest, right? You come in and they start as fundamental as problem solving. How do you even solve problems to start with, regardless of program you're applying for? Just teach you how to look at problems and how you can approach solving problems. And they take you through that, equip you with valuable skill sets that are highly sought after out there in the market. They help you ramp up your CV, your professional platforms, and give you recommendation if you need to get a job, help you, guide you with the interview. When you get that job and you feel like you're not sufficient, they still help you deliver your job. I mean, it's more like you know get option. You don't have any option. You are going to do this and you're going to do it well. So, right, you're in the right place to start with, right? And come to think about it, what do you have to lose? If you don't put yourself out there, you just be lonely. People are out there doing big things. And it's not like these people are more intelligent than you, for crying out loud. They're just putting themselves out there. Put yourself out there, grab the skill set. And I go there, sometimes I see CEO, CFO, big boys doing big things. I'm privy to financial. So I can tell you when somebody is a big boy or not, right? And I see them, they ask me questions, they seek my opinion, and they rely on my opinion to make critical decisions. I'm like, nice. This feels nice, right? So God doing big things, right? I'm not smarter than you, to be honest, right? And even if you're feeling like you're not smart, you are smart. They would give you things that only smart people should know, and you will know it, and automatically you are smart. So it's really that easy if you want to put it that way. All right. So you're in the right place. You should put yourself out there, because at the end of the day, you will just be doing yourself a disservice for not putting yourself out there. So that's just what it is. To be honestly, I think you should put yourself out there and you'll kill it.
Absolutely, 100%. A lot of people doubt themselves. That's one thing I've noticed over time. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'll still come out to say one or two things before. All right, Bernard. So what advice would you advise people looking to getting started? And yeah.
Okay, one advice I'd recommend to people is don't miss any of the classes. Um, anything that you might get confused on, the coordinators will be there to help you, guide you, and answer. And don't be afraid to ask questions, because I remember in my cohorts, um, I was confused in one or two things. And if I had missed any of those classes, I wouldn't have gotten the help from any of the instructors if I'd missed them. So it's very important you don't, try not to miss any class. Try not to miss any classes. I know whether I was tired, whether I had something doing, I was made that commitment to attend this class because I knew the value it would serve for me. And another advice I want to give people is not to cut yourself short. No matter how little you think any of these small projects that you're doing with 10Alytics, somebody will value it. Like no matter how little you think you're doing, just by doing something, just by saying that, oh, this is something I did this. I have experience of doing this. I actually made an effort to do this. Somebody else will value it. Somebody else will see it and say, yes, we can use someone like you because you participated in a project like this. So don't cut yourself short and don't take this program for granted because I well I used 10Alytics to apply for my visa to get to Canada, and they came through for me. I used 10Alytics to get my scholarship, and my first semester is paid for, and I'm hoping I can use them again.
I feel like I'm not using my privileges enough.
Honestly, like Bernard, it's absolutely remarkable. Say, all right, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking our time on the Thursday. Aramat, I'm still gonna come to you. All right, but these guys have been on the call for quite, almost an hour, 32 minutes. Okay, so I'm just gonna take them just to wrap up on their own side. So, all right, thank you guys, Abdurrashid, Victor, Solomon, Bernard, Chris. Thank you guys for taking our time. I know you're busy professionals. I mean, you're tech bros now. You kept me like. I think we need to start. Adeza, what do you think? We need to start doing site and offering so we can.
Especially Bernard.
I mean, all right, guys. It's exactly is a thing of joy for us. Okay, we are not chasing. We're not so keen on a lot of. If you do your research, okay, if people actually sit down to do their research, you'll find out that we are actually the most affordable in the industry currently. All right, and the thing for us is not just the affordability; it's also about we getting more Africans into the tech space. All right, that's like the key thing for us. You're an African in Africa, or you're an African outside the country. can, if you want to stay back to, we're still going to be having conversations anyway. Well, and and so on and so forth. So, but anyway, for your own side, you guys have done a fantastic job. Thank you very much for taking our time. You can either stay back or you can stay. You can enjoy yourself. All right. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Victor. Thanks, Solomon. All right. Thank you very much, guys. All right, Ramat. So I'm just going to we're going to spend the next, 10, 15 minutes with you. Okay. So Ramat is a business analyst, and you came in at the right time, Ramat. You actually came in at the right time, because a lot of people are saying that we have all the guys on the call. We have just guys. Why are we just having guys on the call? Why not any lady? So, we went ahead to, see how we can bring in an alumni that has gone through our program and currently works as a business analyst. So Ramat, can we quickly meet you and get to meet, let's meet you. What were you doing before the program? What program did you attend? And what are you doing at the moment?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Perfectly.
Okay, thank you very much. It's such an impromptu invite. I just had to quickly rush up what I was doing to be here today and now. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So my name is Ramat. I joined 10Alytics cohort was it April? Yeah, in April. In April, and then I was working for a company as a customer care service agent here in the UK before I joined 10Alytics. But afterwards, after my program, I got a job as a business analyst for the NHS. My time with 10Alytics, I've said it over time, and I'm going to say it again, was really amazing. In fact, I didn't know I was going to come here today. I have been selling out. You would probably think I work for 10Alytics, the way I have been advertising, I've been talking so much about them. I still did today. People actually reach out to me and say, I saw your video about something you did with 10Alytics. Can you enlighten me? And I still did that today. So I always anytime I get to talk about things with them, anytime I get the opportunity to talk about 10Alytics, I actually want to, because I really had an amazing time with them. I did a business analysis course with them, where we initially did the tech part of it, the Excel, the SQL, and Power BI, before we got into the core of the business analysis course. And trust me, it was everything. Not knowing anything about business analytics before now, and then being a pro at it at the end of everything.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Being a pro at the end of it was really mind-blowing for me. I got to know things that normally a business analyst would do every day, day in activity of a business analyst, stakeholders analysis, the software development lifecycle stages, everything. I'm not just going to, I'm saying this because you're still going to learn a lot of that in class. But one thing I would say to you is just be intentional. Everybody has a purpose. I'm sure everybody on this call has a driving force why you want to do it. Let that always be at the back of your mind, because once you get that at the back of your mind, you will do anything. You'll be intentional about everything you're going to do. 10Alytics is amazing. They will hold your hand at every step of the way. When I got the opportunity to interview for the role, I had no idea what to do. I reached out to them and they gave me the support I needed, and I was able to ace that interview at once and got the job. That's how amazing they are. This is just my experience with them. I'm sure people have come up to say their experiences with 10Alytics, but trust me, they do what they say. You can always hold on to what they say, because they would actually deliver 100% and beyond expectations. So that's just it. This is just a little bit of what I experienced with them. But then if you give yourself the chance, you would see what I'm saying. Thank you.
All right, Ramat, that's absolutely fantastic. I'll say. Thanks for going forward to becoming an ambassador for 10Alytics. Really appreciate that big time. A lot of people are getting jobs within 10Alytics, and a lot of people come back to say that, oh, where are your testimonials? Where are your testimonials? But people get jobs and they don't want to do testimonials, all right? Because they don't want other family members, so people say village people, and so on, to know that they've gotten a new job and so on. So it's sometimes very difficult for us to get testimonials. But when we asked you for it, you jumped on it and you were happy to share your experience, and you won't go forward, you won't tell the people within your community and so on and so forth. So really appreciate that big time. Thanks for taking our time, jumping into the call, even though it was impromptu. Really appreciate that. I don't know if you can still hear me though, Ramat. Okay. You're muted, sorry. So I think you probably need to unmute yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
just one last thing before you go. All right. In terms of misconception, okay, a lot of people think they can't get started now because they don't have a certificate, or they don't have a flashy degree program, or they don't have international experience, or they are old, or thing. A lot of people come up with all these misconceptions about how to get started in tech. So what would you say what would you say to these kind of people? And then you can go ahead with your day, please.
Okay, so you don't have to have any experience. You don't even have to have any certification before now, because whatever you're going to be learning with 10Alytics is surely going to surface. You're going to start from the scratch with them, and they're going to take you to a level that you can get started anywhere, internationally, locally, anywhere. Just give yourself a chance. You don't just leave the worry about being experienced or not having a certain certification. Just know what you want and start with them and go for it.
All right, fantastic, fantabulous, I would say. Ramat, thank you so much for jumping on the call. Short notice. We are very excited to have you every time to speak. So thank you very much for taking our time. Adiza,
thank you very much, Ramat. Good to see you one more time. I mean, we know you've been an ambassador because people have reached out to us to say, I heard about you from Ramat. And anybody who has joined any of our master classes, you'd see Ramat's picture on our slide. Ramat got a job with the NHS as a business analyst, and we are super proud because it shows the work that we do and it works. And for people like Ramat, if I go to the NHS, I know that there is one Nigerian, there's another person of the Black community that works with the NHS. So thank you very much, Ramat, for taking our time.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ramat, again. So let's jump straight into, so for, all of you during the call, you're still asking questions around, I don't know what career path to take. All right. We're going to answer as much questions as we can. All right. So just give me the next 20 minutes to brief you on the career paths that we offer, and then we can take more time. I'll take as much questions as you want to ask. So all of you that are raising up your hands would have enough time to go through your questions, and I will provide you with as much detailed answers as I can. All right. So just give me a second. Let me share my screen so we can jump straight into it. Okay. So first of all, just 1 minute. So I'm just going to walk through the career paths in the next probably 15 minutes. And I want you guys to just listen. If you have any question, please just jot it down. Don't ask the question in the chat just yet. So you might definitely get lost in transit. So what I would say is just take your pen, get your jotter and jot things down so you can take things away. You get me? All right. So now let's start with, but please, if you have any question, please jot it down so you don't forget. Okay. And you can ask them at the end of the session. So I'm going to use the next 10, 15 minutes to walk through this career path. Now, the key question I would like to know, all right, and I want us to be excited about it because, these guys have done this. They don't have to wait. My mother would say that when I was in primary, secondary school, these persons that carry first position, this person doesn't have two head. Abdurrashid said the same thing. This guy that is teaching me data analytics, he did not know this knowledge. He never had this knowledge before. All right, but now he's teaching me. All right, how can I acquire the same knowledge? All right, so looking at this career paths right in front of us, okay? Business analysis, data analytics, HR analytics, financial analytics, full stack data science, and data engineering. Which of these career paths are you looking at getting into? Let me ask you guys quickly. Yeah, let's use the chart. Use the chart. Let's see. Let's see. Which of these career paths are you looking at getting into? FA, we have financial analytics, data engineering, data analytics, business analysis, data analytics, data engineering, data science, data engineering. So quite a number of people looking to get started in this career path. Okay. All right. So let's go into what these guys do and what do you need to get started? That's the key question. What do you need to get started? These guys are the guys have gone through 10Alytics and currently have a job. All right. What did they learn in order for them to get this job? Okay. Let's go through it, very quickly. All right. Now, talking about business analysis, let's talk about business analysis. And firstly, who is a business analyst? Right? Who is a business analyst? A lot of people think the role of a data analyst and a business analyst is the same thing. A lot of people think they are the same thing because you hear the word analyst, data analyst, business analyst, and all of a sudden, because of that keyword analyst, they feel like the roles are the same thing. But that's absolutely wrong. Very, very wrong. The business analyst is more involved in what we call process improvement. Now, if you take a look at any organization across the world, there are three things that make up every organization. All right. We have technology, we have process, and we have people. Okay. Now, that process, all right, is a very essential part of any business. Take, for example, you want to go on leave when you're working. All right. What do you do when you want to go on leave? There is a process you go through in order for your leave to be approved. So you have to send an email to probably your direct boss, all right, for your direct boss to approve or reject or whatever the case is. In some scenarios, it might be an online application where you have to fill in your leave application, all right, then your direct boss will be the one to accept or reject. You see, that's the process, all right? So even on Amazon, for example, you want to order a product on Amazon, there's a process you go through in order for you to place an order. So you go to their website first of all, or you use their mobile app, all right, in order for you to place an order. So you see, those are processes that you take on in order for you to get things done within the organization. Now, what does the business analyst do? What's the role of the business analyst essentially? Is to optimize business processes within the organization. All right. So if you see things that are not working out, things that are not going the right way, take for example, I usually like to use logistics, okay, which is one of the easiest way for you to understand. All right. Take for example, you work as a business analyst with Jumia, okay, and you have Honga. Jumia competitors in the Nigerian, e-commerce space. All right. So if the business analyst examines your Honga to find out that, Honga actually delivers. When you order a product on Honga, it gets delivered in the next 2 days. Okay. All right. While Jumia still delivers within the next 5 days. All right. There's something wrong with Jumia's process in the sense that why is it taking them 5 days to deliver your own pack? When you order on Jumia, why is it taking you 5 days to get your parcel via Jumia? So you see, the business analyst will do what we call process mapping to understand how the process, when you order for a product on Jumia, why is it taking 5 days? What happens when you order? After you order, maybe it goes to requisition, it goes to inventory, it goes to warehouse. So maybe there are so many touch points, all right, in order for your parcel to go out. And because of that, so many touch points, that's the reason why it takes 5 days for your parcel or your package to be delivered to you. So the business analysts will look at how they can optimize that process. Okay, optimize the process. Okay, so the business analyst is that professional essentially, and I usually refer to the business analyst also as a mediator. All right, someone that is in the middle. Okay, so you see, this is the business analyst here. You have what we call non-technical non-technical stakeholder, and you have the technical stakeholder. So the non-technical stakeholder is these are the people that don't know how to program. They don't need, they probably have just an idea of technology, all right, but they don't know how to code, they don't know how to do anything that has to do with tech. They're not the tech bros and Texas. They don't know how to use Power BI, Tableau, and all those analysis and all those Python and all that. They are not technical. All right. So the CEO will never sit down to write, codes or anything like that. The same thing with the CFO and any other, key stakeholder within the business. They don't have any, they're not technical, essentially. And the technical people are the developers, the data scientists, the data engineer, the data analyst. These are the technical people that use technology to make decisions or to improve processes and so on and so forth. Now, the business analyst is that person in the middle that would take, what we call requirements from the stakeholder, the non-technical guys, the CEO. The CEO will say that, okay, do you know what? We need to launch a new product, okay? Or we need to enhance a particular products that we have. How do we do it? The business analyst will take on that requirement and start to see how that particular requirement can actually be achieved. Okay, so that's the role of a business analyst. So if you want to become a business analyst, you need to be that people person because you are going to be interfacing with people a lot. All right, you have to be talking with people, you have to be good with documentation. So all those times if you're that kind of person that likes to document, you like to talk to people, you like to schedule, you're a problem solver, then this career path is for you. All right. Now let's talk about the average salary of a business analyst. Okay, the average salary of a business analyst in the UK is £52,000, 52,000 plus pounds per annum. All right, in Canada, it is 74,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, and in the US, it is 85,000 US dollars. These are the average salaries of a business analyst in the UK, Canada, and the US. Now, in terms of learning areas, what do you need to learn to become a business analyst? What do you need to learn? All right. The key learning areas, we have number one, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. The first thing there, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. And a lot of people will be wondering, why am I learning analytics? If you may, you say that this person is a non-technical person. All right, this person should be good with talking with people. This person should be good with, negotiation, documentation, and so on and so forth. Why are we learning analytics? Now, it's very important. And this is one of the things, one of the participants that came on to speak earlier talked about. We pride ourselves with an updated curriculum. We have one of the most updated curriculum in the industry in terms of training. And the reason why we're teaching you is because quite a number of roles are changing, okay? And they're starting to incorporate a little bit of analytics within the roles. Not all business analyst role would have you to have analytics within your skill sets. But we want you to be as competitive as possible once you complete the training program. Okay. So if you see a role that involves analytics, you can apply for it. If you see a role that doesn't involve analytics, you can still apply for it. So 50-50, you are still good anywhere you face any job post you see, you should be able to apply for it. All right. So you're going to be learning analytics using Excel, Power BI, and SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. And I'm going to talk more about it. Okay. So, those are the things you learn in terms of analytics. Okay. For the other side, you see the other side of it, you will start to work with process improvement and so on. From number 2 to number 8, these are now the core BA skills that you need to learn. All right. So I talked about process mapping. Okay, you get to work with process mapping. You get to work, project initiation planning, agile and scrum for projects, software development lifecycle, requirement fundamentals, elicitation, stakeholder analysis and engagement. So what the things you need to learn in order for you to get started as a BA, as a business analyst, will be taught. Now, the good thing about the curriculum also is it infuses 2 critical curriculum. All right. So it infuses the curriculum from IIBA and also infuses the curriculum from BCS. So IIBA is based off in Canada, BCS is based off in the UK. So what we have done, our curriculum is in tune to this particular, regulatory body or certification bodies, IIBA and BCS in the UK. And that's why we have so much success, because regardless of anywhere you find yourself, all right, you will be able to compete globally. Okay. So the learning timeline for this career path, we have BA in 3 months. All right, 3 solid months of you learning analytics and also BA essentials. Okay, so the learning area for you for the learning curriculum. Okay, you have 2 months for learning. Okay, and now the good thing about this learning is that you're not just learning theory. All right, it's not just you learning what is process mapping. Process mapping can be defined as this. No, it's going to be you working on projects. All right. Now let me tell you another good thing, because it's the only good thing that we have to say. Okay. The other good thing is, yeah, the projects you're going to be working on are projects that have been done in the industry. So we have professionals that have experience in business analysis, okay, and they use their day-to-day work, all right, as learning experience for you. All right. So you are going to the project you're going to be working on are projects that are being done in the industry or that have been done in the industry and have been converted into learning materials for you to learn. All right. So working on supply chain optimization, working on process improvements for web development or a web app, or so many other applications. Okay, real life applications, and those are the kind of projects you get to work on. Now, after the learning experience for 2 months, you still have a free virtual internship. All right, is that not fantastic? So you've learned for 2 months where you still worked on projects, where you're going to be learning and working on projects. All right. Then after that, you still have 1 solid month of virtual internship. That's fantastic. All right. And that's why a lot of people, we have so much success getting people into the tech space. All right. Because you're not just learning, you are also implementing some of the things that you're learning, you are implementing. That's the beauty. So you can start to speak the lingos of BA, of a business analyst, even before you finish the curriculum. All right. So these are the things that set you apart from every other person out there. Okay. So if you want to become a business analyst, this is the curriculum that will get you started. So you're going to be learning analytics, and you now move into the BA aspect where you start to, talk BA things. We need to gather requirements. All right. We need to elicit, all those things. How will we get you started? And and the good thing, like I said, is project based. All right, project based. So these are the tools you're going to be working with. Some of the tools, anyway. You're going to be working with Excel. You'll be working with SQL. You'll be working with Power BI. You'll be working with Lucy Charts. You'll be working with Confluence, Jira Software, Draw.io, Trello, ChatGPT for analytics, and so on and so forth. So you see, I'm actually very excited when I talk about our curriculum, and that's because we've put so much effort in getting the best quality into the training program. So trust me, guys, if you go through the business analysis training program, you are going to have a fantastic time. All right. And you see Ramat that came on to talk about experience, getting started, currently working with the NHS as a business analyst, no prior experience. How was he able to gain that experience to get a job? That's exactly what we do, working with industry relevant projects. Now let's move away from business analysis, okay? And let's go to data analyst. Now, who is the data analyst quickly? A data analyst, okay, all right, is more data inclined. Okay, this is the first professional that is in charge of data. All right, the business analyst is not in charge of data. All right, they're in charge of processes, improvements. All right, and seeing how people can work collaboratively together. All right, on projects, leading projects. All right, documentation and so on. So they're not called data professionals. Now, the data analyst, on the other hand, this is the person that sits on top of data, okay, to make what we call informed decision making. Now, in terms of analytics, when you talk about data and analytics, okay, there are 4 spectrum, but I'm going to only talk about 2 for the data analyst, okay? When you talk about analytics, there are 4 types of analytics, but I'm only going to talk about 2 that ties to the data analyst. So the data analyst is responsible for 2 types of analytics: descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Now, everybody will be like, yay, if Imena has introduced big words, okay? Now, but it's very interesting, okay, because let's make it as simple as possible, okay? Descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics. And I want you guys to go on to be saying these things, okay? And this is a free masterclass, so you're learning so much already. Okay. Now, descriptive analytics. What does a data analyst mean when they say they are performing descriptive analytics? Very simple. It basically means you using data to describe a situation. All right. you using data to describe a certain situation. Take, for example, if I should ask you, all right, what was your total balance, your account balance, okay, last month? What would you do? You quickly go to your mobile app and say that, oh, my closing balance for last month was 5 million naira. Okay, it's good. That's describing. You've described a particular situation. The same thing in the business. You come to be the data analyst and ask the data analyst, oh, can you tell me our total revenue for last quarter? Okay, so that's 3 months. Let's say January, February, and March. Okay, can you tell us the total revenue in the last quarter? So what was the revenue in January? What was the revenue in March? What was the revenue in January, February, and March, rather? Okay, and you say, oh, we made 50 million in January, we made 52 million in February, or we made 60 million in March. Okay, that's you describing a situation. Now you can see a trend. In January, we made 50 million. February, we made 52 million. In March, we made 70 million. That's massive. Now, you take a step back. Now, the CEO will now start to wonder, January, we made, even the data analyst also will start to get inquisitive. January, we made 50 million. Okay. February, we made 52 million. Fantastic. In March, we now made 70 million. So from 52, we jumped to 70. Something happened. All right. Something happened. You guys will attest to that. Okay. But now the key question is, what happened? We know what happened already. 50, 52, 70. But we need to find out why. Why did we move from 52 to 70 million? What's the reason? Why? Why? What was the reason? That's when you now start to diagnose. Okay. So descriptive analytics is talking about what happened. What happened last month? What happened in January? What happened in February? What happened in March? But now we've seen, because we know what happened, we now need to diagnose why that particular thing happened. Why did we move from 52 million to 70 million? All right. And it's a very interesting reason why we need to know. It's very interesting because if I know what happened between February to March, what kind of marketing campaign did we do? Right? Did we make any changes to our product? Okay. Did we introduce a new marketing, a marketing campaign, or did we start selling to a particular segment, or did we start doing something? What was that thing we started doing? So that's where diagnostic analytics comes in. All right. So you see, it's very interesting. And that's where, the guys were talking about, the data scientists, the data analysts, talking about, people are looking for you for answers, because you're the one that knows what happened. And you're also the one they will rely on to know why that particular thing happened. All right. So that's descriptive analytics, that's diagnostic analytics. And that is why you see data analysts building dashboards. All right. Building dashboards, working on reports. Those reports, those dashboards are essentially talking about two things: what happened and why that particular thing happened. All right. So that's why you'll be building dashboard as data analyst. Okay. And that's exactly what a data analyst is involved in. All right. So when you're talking about the average salary, okay, the average salary of a data analyst in the UK, Canada, and US varies. For the UK, it is 40,000 plus pounds. In Canada, it is 64,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it is 72,000 US dollars. Okay, so those are the average salaries of a data analyst across the 3 critical regions across the world. All right. Now, moving on to key learning areas. What would I learn? Okay, the first thing you learn is problem solving. Then after you move into Excel, SQL, Power BI, and Tableau. Now let's break this down into different buckets. The first thing you need to learn is problem solving. Now, for problem solving, why are you learning problem solving? That's the key question. Now, as a data analyst, because you're answering critical questions around what happened and why it happened, you need to be able to solve problems. You need to be able to problem solve, in the sense that you need to be able to break down problems into smaller chunks. Okay. So rather than tackling it head on, okay, rather than looking at revenue as a whole, how do you break it down into smaller pieces? So you start to take it chunk by chunk. You start to solve it small by small in order for you to solve the whole problem. So you get exposed to problem solving techniques like the 5 whys. All right, the MECE approach, the McKinsey-MECE approach. MECE stands for MECE, stands for mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. How do you incorporate all these, all this methodology as your role in your role as a data analyst? You get to work with what we call the CRISP-DM framework. Using all these data analytics, problem-solving techniques in order for you to do well as a data analyst. All right. Now moving on to the next role, next thing, they are the technical skills. Okay. All right. So you see this Excel, SQL, Power BI, and Tableau. These are core technical skills. So you have Excel, which is the special application you get to work with. A lot of people think they know Excel until they get started in our Excel program and they get to see that they actually don't know a lot. Okay, so we have SQL, structured query language, in order for you to work with databases and so on and so forth. You have Power BI, all right, for visualization, advanced analytics, and so on and so forth. Then you have Tableau. So these are the core technical skills you get to work on. All right. And you'll notice that regardless of anywhere you find yourself in the world, these are the technologies you need to learn in order for you to get a job. All right. The Excel in Nigeria is the same Excel you use in Canada. The SQL you are going to write in Ghana is the same SQL you write when you get a job in Germany. So you see, these are the things that you need to understand. The same Power BI is the same Power BI everywhere. Tableau, the same thing. All right. Now, moving on to the next thing, data storytelling. You need to be able to tell actionable insights about your data. Now, you ask your questions on descriptive and diagnostic, what happened and why it happened. You need to be able to tell a story. All right. So the CEO, the non-technical guys within the organization are relying on you to tell them what happened and why it happened. So they want to sit down and hear a story. So you guys will know this thing, right? Let me see the people that are called Africans. Story. How do you respond to that? Story. How do you respond to it? Let me see the core Africans in the house. Yeah, story. Yes. All right. So you see that's critical thing. Yeah, you need to be able to tell stories. You need to be able to tell exciting stories using data. So how are you able to do this? All right. That's what you're going to be learning in the data storytelling part of the training program. Story. And you know it has to be extreme. When you hear it, okay, story, and you see story, people want to listen to you. That's exactly what we're doing in data storytelling. Now, the other part of it, all right, ChatGPT for analytics is where you start to work with ChatGPT for analytics. A lot of people feel AI is going to steal the jobs from them. A lot of people have this feeling, oh, AI is going to take my job. So why am I even learning this in the first place? ChatGPT can do analysis. So why do I need to learn data analysis? It's a very wrong misconception. And that's very simple because AI is supposed to be an assistant. Okay, all right. And these are always saying that ChatGPT is our personal assistant. All right. So if it takes you 4 hours before to create a report, all right, ideally it shouldn't take you 4 hours because AI can come and help you work faster. All right. So you're going to be working with ChatGPT and how you can also optimize your analytics using ChatGPT. The last but not the least, Microsoft Fabrics. Now, this is a relatively new technology, all right? I'm very sure some of you have never heard of it. So Microsoft Fabric is going to be the future, all right, in terms of analytics. So you have Power BI, okay? All right, everybody knows Power BI. But you see, Microsoft Fabric is going to be a one-stop shop, okay, for Power BI, data pipelines, everything together, infused together inside one technology called Microsoft Fabric. Now, this is still a relatively new technology. So majority of the roles don't even have Microsoft Fabrics as a requirement, and we are already teaching it. And you know the reasons why we're teaching it? We want our participants to be ahead of the industry. So the reason why we're teaching. All right. So we're going to teach you Microsoft Fabrics, okay, how to leverage it as a data analyst and implement it in any organization you find yourself. In the future, the next 3, 4 months, 5 months down the line, they start asking for Microsoft Fabrics. You would have had experience similar to you. They business analysis. All right, this is 3 months of learning and 1 month of free virtual internship. Guess what? You're going to be working on projects, industry relevant projects. Okay, so I've mentioned the tools you're going to be working with: Excel, Tableau, Power BI, SQL, Microsoft Fabrics, and ChatGPT is what you'll be working with. Okay, now moving on to the next one, HR analyst. Okay, the HR analyst is now, one of the most sought after skills, within the HR, within the business, ideally. So when I talked about every business is comprising of 3 critical areas, which is technology, process, and the last one is people. Now, guess what? People are the ones that leverage technology, and people are the ones that leverage the process within, or that leverage processes. Okay. So without people, process will not work. Without people, technology is not going to work. And how do you optimize people within the organization? That's where HR analytics comes in play. All right, that's where it comes to play, honestly speaking. So you see that HR analytics when you start to analyze people data, employee data. Okay, you see, what's his name? Victor came in to say that he carried out a survey just a couple of days, and over 1,000 employees filled that particular survey. Based on that survey, you see information, strategic decisions can be carried out based on the data from the employees. Now, you have stuff in the line of, employee engagement, employee enrichment, you have succession planning, you have performance evaluation, you have so many things in terms of HR and how you can actually sustain and keep people within the team. How are you able to do that using HR? How do you get people's performance to increase? How do you identify training? There's something we call training needs analysis. How do you do all these things within the organization? That's where you'll be learning HR analytics. All right. The average salary of an HR analyst is £32,000 in the UK. In Canada, it is 71 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it is 62,000 US dollars. Now, the key learning areas, you'll notice that you're going to be learning the key skills of a data analyst. All right. So you'll be learning, problem solving, you'll be learning Excel, you'll be learning Power BI, you'll be learning SQL. All right, you'll be learning that like that of a data analyst. But the key area in which you're going to be switching, making a very big switch, is now you implementing, all right, you implementing HR and you using data analytics within the HR space. So you start to work on HR analytics and performance evaluation, HR metrics and life cycle, HR analysis and dashboard, collaboration and report automation, building your case and creating an action, and you have ChatGPT for analytics. So this is the key critical areas you're going to be working on. Okay. So HR analytics, and you've learned the skill set of a data analyst. All right. The next thing is for you to use those skill sets within the HR space. All right. So how do you now use these data analytics skills you've learned within HR? How can you use data within HR? How can you work with people data, employee data? How can you do that? These are the key questions you will be answering working with data. All right. So, those are the key learning areas for HR analytics, and you'll become, super confident working with human resources data and making sense of it using, what do you call it? Using data analytics. Okay. So the learning program is for 4 months. Okay. 3 months of learning and 1 month virtual internship. Now, the good thing about this training program, I almost thank God I didn't skip it, okay, is this particular aspect, HR analysis and dashboarding. All right. So you see, as HR analysts, you need to be able to keep track of certain metrics, stuff like attrition rate, turnover rate, all right, and so many other metrics that you're going to be covering in the HR metrics and life cycle. All right. So when you go to dashboard, you start to build dashboards, okay, to keep track of all these key metrics within the organization. All right. Now, you also will be collaborating with other stakeholders. HR is not a department on its own, okay? It's a department that works with other departments. So you see HR, conversing with the finance, logistics, admin, operations, so on and so forth, technology. You'll be collaborating with these people. No. These reports that are going to be building, you can't be building it every day. You can't be doing the report every week, every 2 days. You can't be doing this. It becomes monotonous. All right. So how do you automate this report? It's the beauty. That's one of the beauty of how you go through the HR analytics curriculum. You learn how to automate your report in Excel, in Power BI, using SQL, so on and so forth. So you will get to work with this. Okay. Now, let's talk about financial analytics. Okay. Quickly, financial analytics, this is when you start to work with financial data. These are guys in the finance department or that have interest in getting into finance. All right. Now, finance also has moved past the conventional accounting, bookkeeping, and so on and so forth. But there's a fancy aspect, which is financial analytics. And guess what is making this also fancy? Analytics, data analytics. Now, the financial team also, they are transformed, they are moving away from just the regular reporting, all right, to using more analytics, all right, to just to uncover what we call descriptive and diagnostic, what happened and why it happened using your financial data. So every business is, generate cash, all right, or they're looking for money, or they're trying to be profitable. Even a non-profit making organization still needs money. Okay, the company that calls themselves non-profit, they still need to generate money. They still need to minimize costs. Okay, in order for them to be able to do the operation. So an NGO, for example, still needs somebody to be able to analyze the financials in order for them to tell them, where are they spending so much money? Where should they reduce that cost? Where can they optimize in order for them to generate more money? So on and so forth. So every organization needs money. All right. Even you as an individual, you need money. All right. Talk more about business. All right. So, the financial analytics training program is an immersive career path. Now, what really makes this very interesting is because it combines three career paths together. So you have corporate finance, okay, on one hand, you have investment banking on one hand, and you have data analytics on another hand, right? So you have corporate finance, you have investment banking, and you have data analytics coming together, okay, to infuse them together to give you financial analytics. All right. So this career path is a fantastic one for professionals looking to get jobs in what we call commercial finance or commercial analytics, operations analytics, or you have, financial analyst, investment banking, corporate finance analyst. If you're that keen person to getting into the finance industry, this program will get you more than above what you need to get started. And as you see Solomon currently working with Kegos, all right, financial analyst, okay, and guess what? They studied engineering in school, all right. So either this finance professional, the other body needs to work in corporate finance, investment banking, and data analysis infused together. This training program is designed for you. Now, the average salary of a financial analyst in the UK is £51,000 per annum. In Canada, it's 69,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it is 74,000 US dollars. All right, that's the average salary of financial analysts across the three critical regions. Now, let's talk about the learning areas. Okay, now, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, you're going to be learning analytics. Okay, all right, you'll be learning analytics because of the data analytics side of the training program. All right, combining three career paths, like I mentioned: corporate finance, investment banking, and data analytics. So you will learn analytics like a data analyst. So you get to learn problem solving, you get to work with Excel, you get to work with Power BI. Okay. But now you will now move, you delve into the core finance aspect. Okay. You get to work in the core finance aspect. Now, this is where you now start to work with financial data. So you get to start, if you're a beginner, all right, you start with accounting fundamentals. All right. Accounting fundamentals is essentially talking about, accounting concepts, conventions, so on and so forth. And you have financial analysis. How do you analyze a financial statement? How do you make sense of a financial statement? Those things will be covered in the financial analysis training program. Okay. All right. So we have financial modeling, which is like you building an actual business using numbers. And I'm going to show you some of the financial models our participants have actually built. All right. And you remember, Solomon was saying that, the reason when he went for the interview with Kegos, all right, he was saying that, the CEO is someone that is very familiar, and also the one with Tangerine. So the CFO was actually very familiar with what we do in analytics. I was asking questions around what models did they build in class. That's the financial model we were talking about. All right, so you get to work, build what we call financial models. All right, so you'll be building what we call three-statement financial models, cash flow, financial models, so on and so forth. And you'll also be working with what we call valuation and scenario building slash sensitivity analysis. So you're working on valuation techniques, different valuation techniques. You'll be building what we call sensitivity analysis. You will also be working with what we call scenario building analysis. So now when you talk about scenario building, there are three types, okay? There are three forms of scenarios, okay? You have the best case, the base case, and the worst case scenario. How do you determine these when you're building your financial model? All right. So these are the interesting parts of what really makes it, of financial analytics. So if you're this professional that likes finance and wants to get into finance, this is the curriculum for you. Now the learning program is for 4 months. Apologies, it's for 4 months. Okay, 4 months learning. So this is going to be for 3 months of learning, of you working on projects, you building projects, and so on, and 1 month virtual internship. 3 months of learning, you working on projects, industry relevant projects, and 1 month of learning. Okay, so it's immersive. It's an immersive training program to get you started in financial analytics. Now let's talk about data scientists. Now I got a lot of messages during in the chat asking what's the difference between a data analyst and a data scientist. Now, talking about the spectrum of analytics, if you remember, okay, we talked about descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Okay, descriptive analytics and diagnostic. What happened and why did it happen? That's what the data analyst, well, majorly that's what they will focus on. All right, descriptive and diagnostic analytics. But you see, the data scientists will go on to work on what we call predictive analytics. This is the key role of a data scientist. Now, it doesn't mean that a data scientist doesn't work on descriptive and diagnostic. They still do the same thing. They will work on descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. But their key focus is on predictions. All right? Their key focus in what will happen. The data scientist will find out what happened, why that particular thing happened, okay, and what will likely happen in the future. All right, that's what you need data science for. So you see, that's when you start to work with what we call predictive modeling, okay, statistical modeling, machine learning, supervised and unsupervised. And those are the things that you're putting together in order for you to do what we call forecasting, predictive, and predictive analytics essentially. So your whole key role as a data scientist is on prediction. All right, how do I predict? How do I forecast? All right, those are the key areas you'll be working on as a data scientist. All right, so you're still going to be doing that descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, but your key focus on your role as a data scientist will be more on predictions, forecasting, and so on and so forth. And also the other part of it, but that's the key area that we're going to focus on for this particular aspect. Now, in terms of average salary, the average salary of a data scientist, okay, is £50,000 in the UK. This is per annum. This is not per month. Okay, per annum. That's for the full year. £50,000 in Canada. It is 94,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it's 121 US dollars. All right. So these are the average salaries of data scientists across these three critical regions or three key regions. Now, for data science, the key learning areas, you're going to learn statistics. Statistics is one of the most important aspects of data science. So you need to learn statistics. So this is where you start to work with the measure of central tendency, measures of asymmetry. You start to work with variance, standard deviation, and one thing that scares people a lot is because they've probably had a bad experience with school, okay, and they never like statistics. But now, guess what? The reasons why you were really scared about statistics is because you felt, there was no need for it. All right. Imagine let's talk about the measures of central tendency, for example. Now, measure of central tendency is basically mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode. Now, looking at these three, mean is what? Average. Median is what? Middle number. And mode, the number that appears the most frequent number. Now, when you look at these three things, you must ask yourself, why do I need to know the average number? the number in the middle. I think the main usually used to bust me back then. I'm like, why do I need to find out the number in the middle? Like, what's the whole essence? Okay, now I find the number in the middle, the number in the middle. What do I use it for? That's the key question. All right. And that's what most people don't understand is the application that really makes it interesting. All right. Standard deviation, variance. How do you use this in a real life scenario? How do you use this to solve critical data questions? Those are the things that we're going to handle in the statistics class. All right. So when you're talking about you're working with missing data, how do you use your measures of central tendency? How do you use your measures of central tendency to check out outliers in your data sets? So the beauty, interest. Anytime I talk about data science, I usually feel excited because these are things that I learned in university, secondary school, but nobody really taught me why I needed to learn it. And that's what we do in the statistics class. All right. So you have forecasting and predictive analytics in Microsoft Excel. You get to work with Excel for descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. And that's where you start to work with forecasting and predictive modeling. You get to work with Tableau for data analytics, data science, and so on. You get to work with SQL. You get to work with Python, exploratory data analysis, machine learning, computer vision, GitHub for version control, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot for coding. And you can see this is fully packed. All right. This is fully packed. All right. So regardless of anywhere you're coming from, this training program is for beginner, is beginner friendly. So you don't need anything to get started. And I mean it when I say you don't need anything to get started. You absolutely don't need it. Right. So we're going to be taking you as a beginner and walking you through all the things you need to learn in order for you to become a full stack data scientist. Now, the whole essence we call it full stack is because you're going to be working with different tools. All right. And different organizations are at different levels in adopting data science. Some organization you get to, they're still using Microsoft Excel. So if you only learn Python, okay, you do not learn Excel for analytics, for data science, for predictive analytics, forecasting, and all that, how would you survive? All right. So we have a few stats. And like I said, we are people in the industry. All right. We work in the industry. We know exactly what's attainable. So different organizations are still using Excel for analytics. I built my first predictive analytics and deployed one in Microsoft Excel. The first one I ever did was in Microsoft Excel. Now, if I never had that experience working with Excel for forecasting and predicting and predictions, how would I be able to deploy that? Those are the things that we have incorporated into the training program in order for you to get as much value as possible. All right. So you get to work with Python programming language, exploratory data analysis, machine learning, and computer vision. These are all key technologies or key learning areas for people looking to get into the data science ecosystem. All right. Now you get to work with GitHub for version control. Now, version control is very simple. It basically means you keeping or storing your code. Okay. So take for example, I know you guys have been in this situation before, and I've used this example several times. So, but this is the best way I can explain it. All right. So you're working on, let's say your thesis, when you're back in the 400 level, you're working on your what do you call that, the dissertation or your project, like they say. All right. And you're working on your thesis, and all of a sudden your laptop just goes off. Okay, probably NEPA takes the light, or there was a light fluctuation, your laptop goes off, something just happened and your system goes off. All right. You'll find out that when you come back, that work you've been doing the last probably 40 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, all right, the work will just disappear. It has happened to me personally. And that those things actually want to make you cry. Losing work of almost 2 hours, thinking that you've done a lot of research, you've done a lot of work, and you find out that the thing did not save. It's very painful. That's exactly what version control is. All right. So with version control, okay, take for example, you have the full code, you've done a lot of work, okay? All right, using GitHub, you can actually, deploy, you can do all the things you need to work with the team, and so on and so forth. So take for example, you needed to update your code, you needed to update an analysis that you've done there, all right? So you went back to start working on it and you find out that something happened and everything starts to crash. Everything was not working anymore. All right. So what would you do in that scenario? Would you start looking for the issues, or would you start to try to debug and all that? Ideally, what would you do? Version control. Move to that version. You can always go back to that version. that add no errors. Okay, so it's easy for you to keep track of things, all right, to find out who made the last error, all right, who made the last changes, all right, and this is where the error starts to, come in or to compile essentially. So these are the things you get to work on: version control using GitHub, and you also get to work with AI. Now you have two tools you'll be working with: ChatGPT and what we call GitHub Copilot for coding. Okay. Moving into Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. So you also learn the new technologies, like I mentioned earlier, Microsoft Fabrics. Now the learning call for this learning timeline is for 4 months, all right? 3 months of learning and 1 month internship, 1 month solid internship you get to work on, all right? So this is the career path for the data scientist. Now, the data engineer, okay, this is one interesting career path, okay, and that's because they are largely in high demand at the moment, okay, and they're one of the highest paid. In fact, we had to do a session on data engineers because they're one of the highest paid in the industry, and you need to know why they're one of the highest paid. So you could go to our YouTube channel to find out, to watch that video in depthly, or as to why data engineers are actually one of the highest paid in the tech ecosystem at the moment. So let's talk about what a data engineer does, okay? So you see, different businesses, different organizations across the world generate data from different places, okay? Even you as an individual, you are generating data from different places. So you personally receive emails, correct? So you have your email box that stores all the emails that you receive. Okay. Now let's talk about phone call. You also have a call log that stores all your calls. Anytime you call or you receive call, it's not the same. It's not stored in the same place. Your email is stored in your email box. Your phone calls are stored where? In your phone book. All right. Your what else? Let's say your text messages. You have a text messages, folder that stores all your text messages. But now, let's say you want to do an analysis. You want to do an analysis on your email, phone book, and your text messages. You want to do an analysis to find out when you get the most emails, when you get the most text messages, when you get the most phone calls. How do you sort of amalgamate? How do you consolidate the data from your email, your phone book, and your text messages? Right? It's going to be difficult. Okay. And that's where the data engineer comes in. So the data engineer will build a pipeline, okay, what we call data pipelines, all right, that will connect to your email, all right, and bring it into what we call a data warehouse. Okay, this is a data warehouse. Okay, so you see it here. Let's take this as your phone book, as your email, as your text messages, as your different folders, different places. Your phone, your email does not know anything about your phone book. Okay. Your phone book has nothing to do with your text messages. So on, they are stored in different folders, different places, different compartments. All right. So now, how do you bring all the data from all these locations into one central location? Okay, how do you bring all this data from your email? I'm just using email for example. Okay, don't say that if I said that the data engineers work with email, phone book. No, that's not what you mean. So I'm just saying that you as an individual generate data from different sources: your email, your phone book, your text messages, your WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, businesses also generate data from different places. All right. So you have your website. Okay. Every business has a website. Okay. They have a mobile app. Okay. They have, systems, HR systems within the organization. So you see the likes of what's the most popular one now? I can't remember anyone at the moment. Or organizations work with CRM tools, CRM like Salesforce, and they have what we call ERP tool, enterprise resource planning tools like SAP, and so on. So organizations are generating humongous amount of data, right? So who is this person that would combine all this data in one place? It's a data engineer, okay? A lot of people think that the data analyst works with data, but in order for the data analyst and the data scientist to work on their data, they need the data engineer to provide them with the data, all right? To provide them with the data before they can do any form of analysis. So without data, without a data readily available for the data analysts and scientists, they won't be able to do anything. So this data engineer performs, what we call data pipelines, moving the data from its source location to a destination location. And the destination usually is a data warehouse, okay, in order for to be used for analytics. All right, so talking about the average salary of a data engineer is £50,000 in the UK, like $4,000 in Canada, and $121,000 in the US. The key learning areas, we have introduction to data engineering. So for beginners looking to get started, honestly speaking, this is the best program for you if you're looking to get started in data engineering. Okay, so you start with the introduction to data engineering. So if you don't understand those concepts, those conversion, what's the database, what's the difference between a database, a data warehouse, a data lake, a delta lake, and so on and so forth, a data mart, you will get to know the difference. Okay, what is the essence of a data engineer? What is the role of a data engineer? So on. So all those questions that you have, all those things will be discussed in the introduction to data engineering. Thereafter, you move into SQL. You get to work with Python. You get to work with Linux for batch control, batch commands. All right. You get to work with building custom ETL pipelines, working with databases, working with APIs, working with web scraping. All right. Then you move into Apache Spark. From Apache Spark, you go into Apache Airflow, Apache Pipeline Automation, okay, AWS Cloud Engineering, Virtual Control for GitHub, and you work with ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. Now, the training program is for 4 months, okay? The training program is for 4 months, all right? 4 solid months, 3 months of learning and 1 month virtual internship, 1 month virtual internship. So it's an immersive career path for those looking to get started. And you'll find out that you have, it's very interesting. So you're going to be working with cloud computing, AWS, okay? And you'll also be working with on-premise database structures. So you're going to be learning on-premise, ETL pipelines, and you also get to work with cloud engineering pipelines. So you'll be learning, it's an immersive career path for, learning program for people looking to get it started in data engineering. So it's very exciting. I'm not going to lie to you. This is something that you will find absolutely exciting because you don't have to have any background or any prior experience to get started. The introduction to data engineering covers every single person looking to get it started. SQL is starting from basics all the way to intermediate advanced level. All right, Python, the same thing, Linux, the same thing. So you're going to be learning, step by step, all right, with us at 10Alytics guiding you through the journey itself. All right. So why should you train with 10Alytics is the main question. Okay. Why 10Alytics? Why 10Alytics? Say that we're 10Alytics. Why should you train with us? That's the key question you would ask yourself. Okay. Now, very simple. All right. The first thing we pride ourselves about is an up-to-date curriculum. And now, because we are based in the industry, we are working in the industry, we know what's attainable in the industry, our curriculum is always updated in terms of our learning materials, in terms of the projects you work on, in terms of everything that has to do with the curriculum, it is up to date. All right. The next part is industry experts with hands-on experience. So the people that you're going to be working with are people that have industry experts, all right, industry experience, okay? And they will be the ones to hold your hands and guide you through the journey. Myself, Adeza, and so many other people across different regions that are industry experts are the ones that will bring in to work with you to get it started in the role of financial analytics, data science, HR, so on and so forth. So you are going to be working with people that have industry experience. The next part is blended training delivery to accommodate everyone. So we have people saying that I'm a slow learner. All right. I'm a slow learner. that you're looking at. The next one is LinkedIn optimization. It would help you optimize your LinkedIn. So a lot of people don't think, think short of LinkedIn. Okay, so they're not very active on LinkedIn. They feel like LinkedIn is not good enough, or quite a number of people have gotten jobs, virtual jobs, remote jobs, full-time jobs via LinkedIn. So how do you
This meeting is being recorded.
to work freelance on each analyst, data analyst, data to get work freelancing. So how do you get started as an Upwork? How do you get started? How do you get a job? On Upwork. Basically, we have what we call Upwork optimization. So we'll help you optimize your Upwork profile. Now, the next part is navigating the job market. Okay, navigating the job market. So you can take a look at navigating the job market as a beginner. And that's why a lot of people will struggle at first. And that's because they don't know where to apply for a job. They don't even know the kind of jobs they should apply for. Now, you see business analysts out there that just learn business analysis, thinking that they can only apply for business analyst jobs. All right. And that's why, we are in the industry, will guide you literally. All right. Everything that we say we do, okay, we'll guide you through what kind of jobs do you want to take? Where can I get remote jobs? How do I apply for jobs? How do I apply for these jobs? Where do I apply for these jobs? These are the key questions that we are going to answer for you. How to navigate the job market. So we'll do all those things for you. Also, recommendation and reference letter. You would see Bernard was on call earlier today, one of our participants, and you will see him telling saying things about reference letter, how we provided you with reference letter for a scholarship, for the job you got, so on and so forth. You see, these are the things that we do. The same thing with also his name is with Christopher. Okay, also got a job, and they requested for a reference letter. We provided him we provided him with, or we provided the organization with the reference letter. So you see, majority of these organizations are looking for people that will back up your skill. And that's why you see people that will go online, learn on YouTube, transitioning in almost 4 years, 3 years. Why? All right. Why do you think it's possible? Why do you think it's like that? And they'll come back to tell you that you can't do it in 3 months or 4 months. And that's because they don't have enough support to guide them through the industry. So it's not like you can't do it online by yourself. It's likely going to take you a longer duration. All right. But with 10Alytics, you can gain experience. You can leverage those as your experience, and you can also use those as points of reference. Now, job and interview preparation will prepare you for the job pool. So, we'll tell you how to navigate the job market. So, and we'll provide a recommendation letter for you. All you need to do is apply for jobs. Okay. And we'll show you places where you can even apply for these jobs. We will even share places you can actually apply for the jobs. All right. So once you get that job interview, we also prepare you for it. All right. So how do you answer key questions? Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your experience. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. How do you answer situational based questions? How do you answer personal questions? All these things are very, very important. All right. I will teach you how to do it. So once you get an interview, you could always, schedule for what we call a mock session, a mock interview session, where we simulate an environment of an interview and we ask you questions and we see how you do well. Okay. Then you start to improve yourself. So when you go for the job interview, you go and do what? You go and bamboozle them. All right. So those are the things that we do for people, our people, essentially, people that go through 10Alytics. All right. Now, the next part is mentorship session. All right, mentorship session where we get to work with experts within the space to come and speak, come and share their experience, how they were able to transition, how they were able to get their first job, how they did on first job, basically giving you morale. All right, to say that, oh, if this guy can do it. Currently, this guy was working in Nigeria before. This guy was working in Ghana before. This guy was working in Tanzania before, but now he works for a firm. Bringing the people that have gone through 10Alytics like what we did today, and also bringing people from the industry to come and speak to you. So those are the things that we do to get you started. Now, on the job support, okay, don't worry, we'll soon be done, don't worry. We do all this job support also. So once you get a job and you feel like you feel like you're not good enough, okay, we also provide you with support. All right. So we have quite a number of stories that we tell around on the job support. So all we want you to do is get a job. So once you get a job and you still feel like you don't have that experience, you can always, there's a backup. All right. There's somebody there that would act to help you get started. All right. So we talked about the internship. Okay, so the internship is a 1 month virtual internship. You can add it on your CV. That's the first thing you see there. You can add it to your CV, and you could, claim work experience from 10Alytics. Oh, you'll be working as a data analyst with 10Alytics. You'll be working as a HR analyst. You'll be working as a data engineer. So you can gain experience from us. All right. So the projects you're going to be working on are industry relevant projects. So you work on projects. You go work on the internship and so.
This meeting is being recorded.
With a minimum of 6 projects during the internship. Okay, so it's an immersive one. Immersive one to get you started in the role of the data analyst, business analyst, and so on. So some of our facilitators, we have an experienced facilitator at Data Suleiman, a decade experience in data analytics and management consulting. All right, mentored 15,000 Africans across the world. That data, you met the data earlier. Myself, data analyst, data scientist, worked as a BI engineer, worked as a data engineer, business systems analyst. We also have Mohammed Suleiman, Senior Data Associate with Data and 10Alytics. All right, wealth of experience. Worked with Alfa Romeo in the US, optimizes supply chain, procedures, processes, using data to make, logistics decision make within the organization. We also have Oladapo Sinyambola, okay? Currently a senior consultant with risk advisory, Deloitte Bermuda. Also, wealth of experience, working with you. Ola Olugbemi Akaribo, the business data analyst, Law Depot. So Olugbemi actually went through our program. Guess what? All right, got a job as a business data analyst in Canada. And also like Joshi, he says, okay, you know what? I want to give back. I want to tell most people, all right, that when you get to Canada, rather than doing survival jobs, they can actually learn a skill and get a job. So came back and he's currently helping other people, get trained and get them started in data analytics, business analysis in Canada. All right. So these are the kind of people you're going to be working with. And Brahima is also a senior data associate with 10Alytics, 5 years experience, deploy data science initiative for businesses across Africa and Europe. These are the people that you're going to be working with. And this is just a pool of people. All right. Nene is a commercial analytics professional in the UK. Currently works with Zelos, just an authorized dealer for Nike in the UK. In and out product manager with one of the top technology firms in the UK. Obina currently works as he worked as a data scientist, but currently works as a data engineer with one of the top fintech companies back in Canada. All right, Sheil works in one of the largest fintech companies here in the UK, all right, as a senior business analyst. Emmanuel, also head of human resources for one of the big consulting firms back home in Nigeria. Ibrahim, machine learning engineer with guess what, an ELTS technology firm here in the UK. Kelvin works as a data engineer with one of the top fintech companies in Nigeria. Teniola, customer and digital, Big Four consulting UK. Abdurrahman, Big Four consulting UK. Francis, senior business analyst, technology UK. So this is just an handful of people that will be working with you. All right, so get ready to join our program. Okay. So you can apply for sponsored jobs, okay, in the UK. So if you're based in the UK or you're in Nigeria, you're in anywhere in Africa, you can actually get, links to sponsored jobs via the websites that you see on the link. We'll also show you how to do it. So it's never going to be a situation of, oh, these are the links and this is the end of the world. We'll show you how to navigate the job market, like I said. So, how do I apply for jobs in Canada? The same thing. We'll show you how to apply for sponsored jobs and so on in Canada. All right. Remote jobs also. How do I get remote jobs? We'll show you places where you can get remote jobs. So you're never left alone, trust me. All right. So join our last cohort of the year on the 4th of November 2023. Join our last cohort for the year 2023. So if you're looking to get started, you want to get the head start for next year. So a lot of people are looking at getting started in their career path. All right. If you want to get a head start, this is the best time for you to get started. This is the last program for the year. And if you want to get that head start for 2024, this is when you get started. So you have 3 months. So you have November, you have December, and you have January. So by February, even before January, I hope that you'll be getting your job. All right. So you can latch into this particular opportunity now. All right. So the next course is starting on the 4th of November. Like I said, the original fee of the training program is 600 Canadian dollars, 400 pounds, or 400,000 naira. All right. That's the cost of the training program. Now, we did, for people that, like we mentioned the last time we had our masterclass. Now, but a lot of people have reached out to say that we still want an extension on the discount. A lot of people are still asking about the discount, and it's still early. We're still running the early bird discount for people looking to get things started. So if you want to get started, we are running an early bird discount for you to get started. So we have different discounts for our programs if you're looking to get started.
This meeting is being recorded.
Instead of 400,000 naira, you can actually pay 300,000 naira. So you have 100,000 naira discount. And you can also pay in 2 installments of 200,000 and 100,000. And or you can pay in pounds of 300 pounds. You can pay in 2 installments of 200 pounds and 100 pounds. Okay, so you can pay in 2 installments. And guess what? The second installment, see here, balance up the second installment after 1 month into the program. Balance of second payment after 1 month into the program. Now, the data engineering, there's no discount on the data engineering, unfortunately, and that's just because of how immersive the training program is, and how so very, very quite difficult to get a handle. You getting an experienced person to teach you data engineering is a lot. Okay, so getting the experts on board, okay, could be quite expensive for us, and that's the reason why it's still slightly, it's still the same price. There's no discount on the data engineering. So for data engineering, it is 400,000 naira. Okay, and in pounds, it is 400 pounds. Okay, so you can pay in 2 installments, 300,000 naira or 300 pounds, and you can pay the balance 1 month into the training program. 1 month into the training program, you can balance 100,000 naira and 100 pounds. Okay, so these are the things you need to do. All right, if you are looking to get started, please make your payment now. Make your payment now. Secure your position, and you can be part of the you can be part of the beneficiary of the early bird discount. So make your payment now. All right. So it's very immersive. Trust me, absolutely immersive, absolutely practical. Walk you through all the things you need to know in order for you to get started. All right. So you've heard from our people, okay? So usually we like to bring in testimonials, but we brought in testimonials first, so you could hear from them, so you could see that, oh, these guys actually went through 10Alytics. These guys are always asking for testimonials, and we brought in testimonials for you to actually learn from them, to hear from them, and see what they have to offer. All right. So please, if you want to secure your position now. This discount is it's not the early bird discount, it's only for the first 20 people to register. So we've done the first batch and that has been successful. We're running the second batch. Now, if you want to be, don't, all right, this is a time for you to secure your position. This is the last one that we're running for the year. So if you want to be the one, if you want to be the part of the people to get our stuff for next year, please, this is the time for you. All right. So typically what really happens, we have this program streaming on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and also we have over 200 people on the call. All right. So if you want to secure your position, please do it now. Okay. So because we don't have enough time anymore, and we'll be closing the session, shortly. I'll be taking a few questions, then we'll call it a day after. All right, but guess what? We still have quite a number of testimonials, and I will share their testimonials with you as we go on. But anyways, they're on our YouTube channel. You can always go to our YouTube channel to watch the testimonials and so on. So I'll take a few questions. Evelyn has been raising up her hand from the start of the session till now. So Evelyn, if you want to unmute yourself. Evelyn, do you want Evelyn or no? No, so I'm just gonna ask you to unmute yourself, Evelyn. Then I'll take it one after the other. Evelyn, do you want to, yes, go ahead, please, Evelyn.
All my questions have actually been answered. So while they were, talking.
Okay. So your question has been answered, correct? Yeah. Okay. I think she said a question has been
Yeah.
answered. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank
So let me
you.
ask. All right. Appreciate. Looking forward to seeing you in the program, Evelyn. Thank you very much. All right. Let me call on Wilson. I'll try and see as many questions as I can take. Then we can call it a day. So please, this program is the last one for the year. Get started. The discount only for the first 20 people to register. Be part of the first 20 people to secure a position, and let's get started. So Wilson, Alex, let me hear from you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is Alex. Currently calling in from New York City. I think I'm very curious to know what is the job placement rate. I think I'm leaning towards the data science and data engineer. So what is the job placement rate in percentage? And again, my last question would be, if you have
This meeting is being recorded.
Whatever the case is, and an opportunity comes in with position. All right, that's one branch of people. We have other people that get jobs. Okay, that were currently working as maybe customer or HR analyst, for example, and they get a job as an HR analyst somewhere else, a more advanced organization. That's another set of people. So in general, okay, it's not cast in stone, but we have a good 90%. Okay, that you're likely going to get a promotion. You're going to get people have gone through our training program have gone on to get promotion, getting new jobs, getting gigs. We also have people that are working freelancing. We have people that are working. So we have a very huge success rate in terms of how people are able to take on the training program and transition into something else that they never used to do before. Either it's a new job or it's a new gig or it's a new consulting work. So we have a lot of financial analysts and now building businesses, financial models for businesses not just in Nigeria, but across Africa, especially startups looking to get funding. So we have data scientists, data engineers that are working remotely, offering their services as contracts, so it's not a new job, but they are currently working as, contractors for, different businesses across the world. So these are the benefits you get from the training program. So we do have a high success rate in terms of how people are able to leverage their skill sets, all right, in getting more opportunities for themselves. All right. So in terms of people that are lagging behind for the training program, okay, so we have drop-in sessions. We have quite a number of sessions for people. So this is how the classroom looks like. You mentioned that you are interested in the data engineering, if I heard you correctly. So looking at the data engineering training curriculum, you'd see that it's very immersive. So this is the introduction to data engineering. So this is the first class where we introduce you to it. The good thing about the classes are all the classes are recorded. Every single class is recorded. So even if you're that slow learner, all right, or the person is a slow learner and the person doesn't comprehend things very quickly, you could always go back to the recording, watch it as many times as possible. You can see this introduction to data engineering. All right, you can watch it as many times as possible to get a full glance of what it takes to be a data engineer. Okay, getting the fundamentals correctly, taking notes down, and so on. You still have access to the slides. It's not like the slides are going to be, they are not going to be made available for you. The slides are always going to be there for you. All right. Moving on to the next thing, Python program. You start to learn Python program because Python is one of the essential skill sets you need to have as a data engineer. So you start with Python. Like I said, the classes are recorded. So you have all your classes. This is the material, and you have the recording for the class. Okay, so all the classes are recorded, and you have the classes material and so on. So you can always take out time to still learn more. Now, coupled with the recorded classes and the materials from the class, you still have what we call watch me do it video. You see these WMDI videos, watch me do it videos. So now this watch me do it videos helps you, understand practically. It still builds you up practically what you need to learn. So take, for example, we are learning Python. We just finished the first class on Python basics. All right. And you have the recording. We also have bite-sized videos that will still teach you Python. All right. That are practical based. So it's called Watch Me Do It. So basically, as I am going to be programming, you see the video is programming based. Okay. It's teaching you the data structures in Python. So it is programming based. Okay. So you see me, like I said, it is watch me do it. So this is the guy, as you can see me here. I'm the one taking this particular video. All right. And you see me explain this particular concept to you. So it's watching me do it. So as I'm doing it, you're also replicating the same thing and you're doing the same thing. So once you're done with that, okay, so you see you have a couple of videos that would help you practice more. So even if you're a slow learner, as long as you have the videos, you still have a community of people that will guide you on this particular course. So you have teachers, okay? So you see the amount of teachers that you have, okay? You have the employability session, the person in charge of employability, you have Adeza, you have Ibrahim, you have Billy, you have myself, you have Benga, you have Familola, so you have enough people that will guide you through the process, okay? So, those are the things that you're going to get. So in terms of mentorship sessions, so in terms we also have the drop-in sessions. So the drop-in sessions are during the week. So when you start to ask questions, why are we doing this? I was doing this particular learning. I was learning by myself. I don't understand this. How do you explain this? So you have enough of support. And the guys that came in to speak said that as long as you don't skip a class, you do your videos, you do your assignments, you are absolutely going to be fine. You don't play catch up. Okay. So if you're it's 3 months. So if you can be dedicated and you put in your time for 3 months, don't look at any other person. All right. Some people will come here and say they're busy, who are busy at work and all that. So those kind of people, I can't really classify them. All right. So, I'm busy at work. Oh, I don't know. There's traffic on the road. You keep giving a lot of excuse to why they did not do an assignment or why they did not do a project or why they're not active in class. There's one excuse or the other. All right. But if you can take out time to do your own work, forget the other people, do your own. It's you in the class. You paid money for yourself. You're not paying money for any other person. You paid your own money to learn your own skill, to get a new job, to get a better job. Everything will be made available for you. The support will be mercy for you. All right, as long as you go to the Troy Club. So, Alex, I don't know if I've answered your question. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Looking forward to seeing you in class, Alex. Appreciate it. I appreciate the question. All right. All right, so let me take Marvelous Jeremiah. Okay, Marvelous Jeremiah. Let me take you next.
Good evening.
Good evening, Marvelous. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay, please. I thank you for the class, and I have a problem with me, and the problem has always been making choice. I've always had the classes you mentioned, and I'm interested in business analytics, and I'm also interested in data analytics. But the problem right here, and okay, I'm also interested in data science, and I know I love challenging things. In fact, I can challenge myself in anything at all. But now the problem I have is, which of them am I going to go for? I actually studied finance in the University of Port Harcourt. Yeah, so talking about investment bank. Check if I'll be able to do this or be able to do that or any other thing. So I don't know if you can do that. Maybe that
Okay.
that to choose.
What
Yeah.
what I'll do for you, yeah. All right. We have what we call one-on-one sessions. Okay, one-on-one
Okay.
sessions. So for people that are still not decided, I would have a one-on-one call either myself or Adiz that will speak with you, and we can have we can help you make that decision. Basically, by asking you questions, your concerns, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What kind of role would you find yourself? Are you that person that wants to speak to people? Are you that person that, would ask you all those questions in order for you to get started? So I don't know if that's something you might be slightly interested in.
Yes, I will.
All right. So are you on the group?
Okay.
Yeah. Marvelous.
Yes, I'm on the group, on WhatsApp group.
All right. So we'll drop a link, in the next couple of maybe by weekend, we should be able to drop the link for people that are requesting for one-on-one session. I would also say secure your position, even if you're still trying to make a decision. All right. So if you click on this link, all right, so you see the guy, my colleagues in the chat would have dropped a link for you to join the training program. So if you click on that link, it's called the main start link. Okay, you can always register. Okay, so if you click on the link, all right. So I'm just gonna see here. Once you make your payment, okay, all right. I'll show you something. I'm just gonna put in my email and all that. Okay, so initial payments next. You see, there will be a place for me to, all right, to select the training program I want. Okay, and now you see, let me just PayPal and I'm just gonna add some random material. Okay, just give me a second. I'm just gonna take this. Okay, just give me a second. I'm not gonna go through it. All right. So you see, I'm just at this point in time, you could you could select the training program. But now in this place, you can say, I need to speak with a professional. I need to speak with a professional. So now you could actually make payments, secure your discount, all right? Then select I need to speak with a professional, and we would have that one-on-one conversation with you. That's another way of going by it. So if because we've had people to say that, oh, I wanted to make a decision, and that's the reason why I didn't make payments, all right? But you would have to pay the original fee when it comes after the early bird discount has been exhausted, all right? So if you want to secure a position, you can secure a position and put it, I need to speak with a professional. Another thing you need to know, I just want to put it out there for you and for every other person is you have a grace of 2 weeks. So if you start the program and you start with a program, you still have a grace of 2 weeks to make a decision. All right. So you can join the program for 2 weeks. And I don't like this training program. I would like to go to another training program. This is the other one. I think I'll do better with this one. You can always switch. So you have a grace period of 2 weeks to make that switch, if that makes sense. Does that make sense for you?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. It's great. It's great speaking with you, Jeremiah. Marvelous. It's something we are always in that predicament one way or the other. Trying to make a decision is very difficult. Should I go for financial analytics? Should I go for data analytics? Right. That's why we're here to offer our mentorship and guidance. So I'll be looking forward to speaking with you, anyways. Okay.
Okay. Me too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
All right. Okay, thanks a lot, Jeremiah. Marvelous for that. Really appreciate you taking our time to speak, to also stay to the end. Honestly speaking, you guys are everyone on the call at the moment is a real MVP. All right, so you can make your payment and select you need to speak with an expert in order for just to secure your position. Because trust me, guys, the early bird discount is not for life. Okay, all right, it's not for life. Let's get started. All right. So Peter said, okay, let me take with Mercy Abiola Idowu. I'm gonna ask you to unmute yourself. So you can unmute yourself. Mercy.
Abiola. Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, so I wanted to ask. So I'm calling from Turkey actually. I saw it on this guy's. I saw this ad and I wanted to actually know what it is because it's quite interesting for me. But then I'm thinking, how can I even transition? I know you've spoken about it and everything. I'm currently doing my PhD in psychology. So I'm thinking, how will this or any of the datas be of help to me?
All right. So
All right. So what's the plan?
Sorry.
Excuse me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Perfectly.
Perfectly.
I want to meet you just because I'm getting a feedback from your end and it might distract every other person. All right. So Mercy, I'll just ask you a question and you can unmute yourself again. So what's the plan for you once you finish your PhD, or what do you want to do essentially?
Okay, I when you were talking, I took interest in two basic ones like the data engineering and the business analysis. So I was thinking that will it be stretchy for me to like venture into these things, because I hate maths, I hate statistics, I hate anything that would make me go like do so much calculations and stuff. So that's why I'm asking if it will be stretchy, or there's just another one I just want to have like probably one tech certificate, and I just want to know which one to pay for, basically.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I totally understand you. So in terms of being stretchy, yeah, you don't like mathematics, okay? Data engineering definitely is good for you, but you should also know that for data engineering, you do a lot of programming. So you're doing Python, you'll be doing SQL, you'll be working with batch scripting, Linux, and all that. So it's not difficult, and that's because you have so much support that will be guiding you through the way. All right. So you could go with data engineering. You could also go with business analysis. Okay, so you're not going to be doing a lot of calculation. The same thing with data analytics. You won't be doing a lot of calculations. Okay, yeah. In as much as you would require to do a lot of data analysis, all right, the tools that you work with will be the ones to do the analysis for you. And I think that's one of the most interesting things. All right, you getting started in data analytics, but data science, on the other hand, you have to be good with you have to go with statistical concepts and all that, or will guide you. That's the beauty also that I mentioned. So if you're looking to get started, okay, I would say data analytics, business analysis, or data engineering. So data engineering, like I mentioned, is code based. So you need to learn how to write Python, SQL, bash scripting using Linux and all that. So you would learn it anyways, but those are the things I need to let you know. Okay. So for if you're looking at I've explained everything to you. So in terms of you getting started and the opportunities for you, the opportunities in Turkey. I don't know about anything about the immigration or anything about that in Turkey. All right, but you could actually get a job in Turkey or even get a remote job working for another European-based company. All right, so it's not even in Europe, not in Turkey, essentially. So these opportunities exist, and even looking to see how you can, for PhD people, professionals, I think you have limited number of hours you can actually work, or limited number of pay or something. I think your stipends and all that. So if you want to get more experience, get the tech skills that you can actually learn, all right, and use it to make extra cash, working for firms outside of Turkey. That's something you should also try to explore. So I would say you should confidently, I know about 2, 3 people that were in Turkey, but now they've moved from Turkey. One is in Germany, the other person is in the UK. All right. So these are the things that I've helped quite a number of people to make this decision in relocating, to getting a better job, and so on and so forth. So I don't know if that answers your question, Mercy.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to ask one more question, sorry. So with data engineering, can you work remotely?
Absolutely. So all the programs that we offer, you have the opportunity to work remotely. Every single one of them. All right. You have the opportunity to work remotely. Data analytics, business analysis, data science, data engineering, all the programs that we offer. So yeah, 100%. So yes, if that's what interests you, all right, please secure your position now. Okay, please secure your position now. I'm actually enjoying the questions I'm getting from you guys. So thank you very much, guys. All right. So I'm going to take Peter C next. Okay, Peter C.
Good evening.
Good evening, Peter C.
Yes, please. Just 2 questions I want to just get on board. I don't know. I'm a bit confused there. I'm actually coming in from the administrative background, biz admin. A long time ago, I studied, and I made use of maybe computer learning process with the help of Corel Draw. I don't know if I could get into this data analysis, or I'm just looking at the cost also, which will better fit my background.
Okay.
Oh, yes, please.
So you're looking for a career path that will suit you.
Yes.
Okay. So we have 6 at the moment that you could actually choose from. So
Yeah.
for current
What I'm actually saying is there's I have a Corel Draw background, not necessarily certificate, but I'm good with it. So I was kind of looking at will I be able to fit into data analytics or something?
Yes, you will. You'll be able to fit into any career path you choose. All right. So the key thing, like I've mentioned earlier in the call, is you don't need anything. You don't need your prior experience to get started. Nothing from your prior experience is needed. That's because we're going to teach you every single thing you need to know.
Yeah.
So if you were working at, I studied economics, for example. I studied economics in school. They did not teach me anything data engineering, data science. Nobody taught me this. So I learned, gained experience, and that's the reason why we'll be looking to giving back to people to see how we can handle old people and guide them through the journey. So you don't need anything to get started. Okay? Don't feel like
age-wise, will I still get a job into anywhere?
Absolutely. So when you're saying, which region are you at the moment?
Nigeria.
Nigeria. You know, if you're looking for, I would say you should focus majorly on roles outside of Nigeria. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Because those are the people. I think there's still that age limitation. I don't know. I've not seen a Nigerian post in a very long time. But I know back then, okay, there's usually like this age limit you have in Nigeria. Or if you're going to be applying for a remote job in the US, in Netherlands, in Australia, you don't have there's no restriction. Okay, there's no age restriction, and you can try it out. Okay, to see and put in as much effort as you can. All right, and I can tell you, you will get something. All right, so there's no age limitation. There's no age limit to what you can actually do. All right.
Oh, thank you.
You can trust me. Don't worry, you will. You will get something. Trust me, okay? So if you choose the career path, data analytics, data science, you will get something. Okay? Just trust analytics and we got your back, okay? 100%.
Thank you.
All right, interesting. Thanks a lot for that. Jones, let me take Jones real quick. Jones, real quick, ask the question. Kunaya, ask the question in the chat. Jones, go ahead, please. Jones, I can't hear anything from you. I'm getting your microphone, so I'm going to move to Vivian. I'll leave your microphone on, so until you fix it, so I can hear from you. Vivian, I'm going to take you next.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Vivian from I stay in Europe, in Finland. Actually, I currently work with a finance company as a compliance officer, compliance analyst slash officer. Though it's not kind of related to data analytics, but I kind of want to switch career paths. So my question is not actually really based on that. My question is more about the pay, the fee. So, do you issue invoice if we pay for this? Because in my company, we have what we call personal development, which they pay for. But before they can pay for that, they need an invoice. So, which is why I want to use like the company fund to pay for this. So that's why, because I kind of like have a basic idea about data analysis, and most of my questions have been answered, and based on my own personal research, I know what I want to go for and I know what I want to do, but I've just been lazy. But since I see an opportunity, I should use the company fund for it. So that's what I want to know. First question.
Okay. Yes, we do invoices. We work with organizations. We have quite a number of people that even come involved from the organization. So organization actually pay for them and they get discounts. All right. So if they bring in like 5, 10 people, 20 people, they actually get those discounts. So we actually do work with a lot of organizations offering training programs to them. So if you come in with your organization too, we could also give you the invoice. All right. We provide you with the invoice and then you can make payments or anyhow you want to work it out. That's fine. Some of them,
Okay.
I don't know how it works for you. Sometimes you might be the one to pay, then the organization reimburses you. So it depends on how it works. Well, anyone works really. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yep. On still on the part of the payment. Will it be if you're to issue the invoice? Will it be issued because for my company because based on like it's finance, they are very keen on this, and based on my location because I'm a freelance, so like it's euros we use. So will it be issued in GBP or in euros if you're to issue an invoice?
Euros, pounds, US
Okay.
dollars. We could do it. Yeah, we could do it in any currency.
All
We
right.
could charge.
Okay. Thank you. That's the first question. Then the second question is based on the time zone, how will the classes be held? Because if we are to do like 2 a.m. for instance for people in
Canada.
Nigeria, Canada, or like Nigeria is 11 p.m., 11 a.m. Right in Canada, I don't know what the time might be. It might be like midnight or so, or thereabout. And for we in Europe, if we move to the daylight saving, it would be like 1 hour different, which is not a problem because it's like 1 hour different for them. But I would like to know, would the class be held together or separately? Because I saw in the comment section one of your like one of the person like answering your questions was like the class will be held separately. So I just need more light on that.
Okay. All right. So depending on the career path you choose, okay, depending on what career, what's
I'm actually going for data analysis.
okay. So for data analytics, okay, for data analytics, data science, okay, business analysis, they have very similar timing. Okay, there are different curriculums anyways, but the timings are very similar. All right. So for these three programs, we have the morning session. I'm going to say M, and we have the evening session. All right. So I'll just say MOR and EV. How am I writing here? All right. So you see this the morning session, we have the West African time. Okay, the guys in Nigeria, the guys in West Africa, African time basically, and that will be between 11 a.m. in the morning, all right, to 2 p.m. All right, in the afternoon. All right, that's West African time.
Yeah.
If you are in Europe, this will tie to you. This is two, not one, right? So if you're in Europe, you're in the UK, you're in Germany, you're in France, this time will work for you. It's gonna be in the morning. All right. So now for the guys in the evening, all right, these are the guys we're going to be using the Eastern Standard Time, EST, especially that's what we cater to guys in Toronto, the guys in Canada, the guys in the US, and so on. Now that same time would be 11 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time Standard Time to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So now this would be the morning for the guys in Canada, US, and the guys in America, Canada, and all that. Well, it's going to be the evening for the guys in West Africa and the guys in Europe. So in the evening, that will be 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. West African time. Okay, I don't know if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are
Yes,
the live
makes sense.
classes. Okay. So this all happens on Saturday. Okay. This all happens on Saturday. So you have morning classes and you have the evening classes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Third
So
question, please. Last question.
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
The materials, like the curriculum and the materials, because there's sometimes when we want to go back and reference to materials they have before. Will it be available lifetime or after the class will lose access of it?
All right, so you have lifetime access, and let me just bring it up again so you see exactly what I'm talking about. You have a lifetime access to all the materials. So if I go if I go to classes, let me go to classes, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. So you see classes that started since the inception of the program is still there. Okay.
Okay.
That's, it's still there, and they have all the materials intact. Okay, so you see this, all right? You see all the material, the growth internship, the custom project, and you see creating tables, aggregate statements. All right, so you see all the materials are still there, and so on and so forth. Okay, so all the materials, all the things are there for you to work on. So this is a training while in 2021. You understand, and the materials are still there.
Yes.
Yeah, so you see, you have lifetime access to the materials, the case studies, the videos, everything. You have lifetime access to it, so you don't have to worry. Okay.
All
So
right.
you have access to it's not just the materials. You also have access to the experts. So the people on the team, the people that are going that will take you through the program, you would have access to everything. All right. So you're going to be
Okay.
fine. All right.
All right. Yep. Thank you. That's all.
Have you registered already? Yeah, or you're about to register?
I haven't because I have
Okay,
to
your
like drop.
company. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I have to drop all this information. That's why I'm asking like a lot of questions.
No problem. No, it's fine. Totally understand.
Do you guys have a website?
We do. We have the best websites in West Africa, in the world, not just in West Africa.
Okay. Yes. And
Yeah,
it's what if
it is
okay, 10
10Alytics,
analytics.
10Alytics.io. Just type in 10Alytics. You'd see us on
Okay.
the
All right. Because I have to
web.
drop all this information for them.
Okay, no problem. So you just
All
search
right.
10Alytics, you see everything online, all our materials, courses, all the things we do, and all the things we do is it's everything's online. So we're even
Oh,
featured on the news. Let me just Google that real quick. So if I come here and I Google 10Alytics, you see us in the news, so on and so forth. So you can go to news and you see pen up, you see reward winners, you see all these informations are there, news about analytics, how we're doing, how we're helping Africans across the world, and so on and so forth. All right, so quite a number of things. So you see
all
us
right.
here. Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, no problem, Vivian. Thanks a lot. Appreciate your questions. Thanks for taking out time to listen to us. Really appreciate it. So there's still quite a number of questions, okay? And I know you guys have a lot of questions to ask. So that's why we have the one-on-one session, guys. We have one-on-one sessions to answer as much, more in-depth questions. So we'll be having another, clarity session. We call it clarity session. We call it one-on-one sessions. So what I would say is, if you have questions, all right, if you're waiting to answer, if you're waiting for questions or you're waiting to get answered, all right, please, you can still secure your position. You can still secure your early bird position. So secure it, yeah. And when you're filling the form, when you're submitting, when you click on the link, all right, and you're submitting the form, you could always fill the form. When it gets to the last part for you to select what program you registered for, you could select, I need to speak with a professional. So if you're still confused, should I take data analytics? Should I get the business analysis? Should I take data science or data engineering? All right, so on and so forth. Please, you can secure your position. All right, you can secure your position, pay your upfront fee, and select, I need to speak with a professional. So you don't come back to say, like, oh, I don't want to pay £400. I want to pay £300. I had a question, but you're not something you can actually select. You need to speak with a professional to get started. All right. So thank you very much. I hope that absolutely makes sense. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much for taking our time to. So we'll be having more calls. Okay. We'll be having more, clarity sessions. So if you're on the WhatsApp group chat, we'll be setting up communications to get you started. Okay, we'll be sending out communication if you want a one-on-one chat. If you're still adamant of not registering and you want to have a one-on-one chat before you register, we'll have that clarity session, we'll have that one-on-one session where we speak on one-on-one basis. So please, we would answer more questions in the one-on-one session. So look out for the WhatsApp link in the what look out for the clarity session link in the WhatsApp group in order for you to secure your position in the one-on-one session. All right. But anyways, that's what we're going to call Draw the Curtains today. Okay. And if you want to know more about us, you can go on Google, and when you get the materials, you see there are quite a number of testimonials. All right. Or you could go on YouTube. Rather, you could actually just go and read YouTube. All right. You go on YouTube and you see, just Google 10Alytics. All right. you can see we are currently live at the moment. Just Google 10Alytics, just search for 10Alytics, and you'll see quite a number of things that are happening or the things that we have done. You could go to 10Alytics and subscribe. Anyways, you could subscribe and get started. So you see, you go to videos, you see all the materials, you see all the videos that we've posted, to master classes, measuring employee compensation, why data engineers are being paid more. You see, we have a lot of resources here that you can actually watch, and your answers might actually get answered while watching those questions. All right, so you could go there to do that and you can get started. So anyways, thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful evening. All right, we have quite a number of testimonials also. So please, watch the testimonials and let's see how we can get started. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. If you had a wonderful time, I want you to say yeah, yeah. All right. I'm going to ask you guys to unmute yourself. Okay. So you can actually, if you had a wonderful time, please. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My God, my God. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And looking forward to seeing you.